It's a crisp, cool Thursday in New Wilmington, and the six-time national champion Westminster College Titans are ready to take the field. Good evening, friends. Good evening, fans. I'm Mark Slazak, along with Jacob Rhodes and Ethan Kurtz, and we have the start of the 2025 football season, and it starts where it ended a year ago for the Titans.
Absolutely. Starting with the Marietta Pioneers, Westminster and Marietta set to do battle to start off Westminster College's 131st season. I can't wait, Mark.
Should be a great start, and we started with a chance to talk to Coach Scott Benzel.
Well, as good as your young guns look, your seniors are also very, very poised. Ty McGowan, Dylan Sleva, Tate Beachy, Moon Boys, as we call them.
Yeah.
Your last 3 years of this group, you look at that. What makes you confident this is the core that the Titans have to win the big game?
Yeah, I'm rooting for them. You can't find three better guys in terms of team, in terms of sacrifice, in terms of doing what they can to help us win. You know, in the end, though, it is a team sport. I don't think those three guys as individuals would be able to do anything without the other guys following along. They set great examples. Dylan Sleva, to me, is, one of the most talented players we have. Ty McGowan, I think from Ty's perspective, everything that you want in a quarterback, Ty possesses. You just got to go out and execute it at a high level. And then Tate has a way about making plays. He's obviously not the biggest guy out there, but he's got a heart of gold and a heart of lion, and he just continues to step up when we need him.
You were really, really proud of your defensive line depth last year, and it came up big for you throughout the season. A lot of big tackles for losses. But what position group do you find most formidable ahead of this 2025 season?
The D-line. They're still there. We didn't really lose many off that group. A couple guys that were key contributors. We're banged up a little bit on the D-line, so the depth certainly is a factor. But that group, and I've told them this multiple times, and I've told them in front of the team, they have a chance to be not only good in our conference, but they have a chance to be as good as you'll see in the country. They are strong, they are violent, they are physical, and they're athletic, and they're deep, and they have to dominate, and they have to have that mentality.
Everything you need, Coach. One last question for you. The three keys to beating Marietta on Thursday night in New Wilmington.
Yeah, first one is fast start. Fast start for us is important. If you look at our three losses a year ago, we were 42-3, outscored in the first two possessions. That does not bode well when you're playing good football teams. Second one is our special teams need to be special. What a year last year. I mean, that group was dynamic, and that group needs to continue to do that. And then the third one is red zone efficiency on both sides, offense and defense. When you get in the red areas, field shrinks, things get a little harder. And that's when we need our guys to step up and execute at a high level, and those will be really important for us to secure the victory.
Well, as good as your young guns look, your seniors are also very, very poised. Ty McGowan, Tate Beachy, Moon Boys, as we call them.
Yeah.
Your last 3 years of this group, you look at that. What makes you confident this is the core that the Titans have to win the
Westminster College Titan Marching Band just finishing up with the national anthem. Also recognizing Coach Joe Fusco in a moment of silence. Coach passing away earlier in the calendar year and missed by many. And the Titans on the back of the helmet will wear his initials for this season in tribute to Coach Fusco. Coach Fusco, in his career for Westminster, the all-time winningest coach for the Titans. Coach Scott Benzel sits at the 3 spot of that. Welcome back. I'm Mark Slazak along with Jacob Rhodes and Ethan Kurtz as we get you set for Westminster and Marietta. And Coach Benzel has his 3 keys to the game.
Absolutely. Key number one going to be start fast. In the games Westminster lost last year, they got beat pretty badly in the first half. Got to start fast against a team like Marietta. Key number two going to be special teams. Has to be special. Going to be really hard to replicate what happened last year special teams wise for Westminster, but they can try their best to absolutely keep that one of the main facets of the game. And key number three, of course, red zone efficiency. Got to be able to score when you're in the red zone on offense and stop the other team when they're in the red zone on defense.
Third member of our team is partially a third member of our team today, working some audio for us. Unfortunately, we can't get him down on the field in camera today, but we have him with us, Ethan Kurtz, to tell us a little bit about Tom Kaufman of Marietta.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Really excited to be here with you guys in any way I can, right? Tom Kaufman comes into this one at his first ever game in charge of the Pioneers. He's the 30th all-time head coach of Marietta. He was a captain and graduated from John Carroll, their former OAC foe. He has a lot of coaching experience at all levels. He was an associate head coach at Kent State and most recently at Gilmore Academy near Cleveland, where they reached their first Elite Eight in program history. He also brings in a completely new staff, a new offensive coordinator and a new defensive coordinator. Coach Scott Benzel for the Titans says this is a very different look Marietta team that the Titans really aren't too sure what they're going to bring with X's and O's.
Thank you very much, Ethan. Scott Benzel is the coach of the Westminster Titans, a career record of 77 and 34. That's 69%. 1-0 career against Marietta, the third all-time winningest coach in Westminster history. So you see the matchup between a coach that's been around for 12 years. Coach Kaufman has coached for 23 years. He's been at major programs, including Texas and Mississippi State. He's coached some great players. The leading tackler in the NFL a couple of times has been Zaire Franklin. Coach Kaufman coached him for a bit at Syracuse. So he's got coaching in his background. So we see 0-0, don't think, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He certainly does. It is a crisp, cool night here at Westminster College as we take a peek at our weather. 64 degrees. We had a rainy day throughout the day, but you can see in our picture right now, we got a lot of blue skies, a couple of gray clouds floating around, but we're really hoping to be dry for this game this evening. PAC has changed a little bit. You'll notice there's no more Carnegie Mellon. You look in the number 6 spot, and then we're just alphabetical 1 through 11. That's certainly not the standings. Don't look at Westminster at the bottom. They will not be there. They're just in a list right now at the bottom. But add Hiram in the 6th spot. They're new this year. And you also noticed, Waynesburg and Geneva are on that list. But Westminster will not play them this year because we've got 2 games non-conference.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you take the Tartans, replace it with another dog and the Terriers, but kind of messes up the North and South Division thing. But 11 teams for now in the PAC, and as you mentioned, Westminster not looking to be at the bottom as they are right now alphabetically. And, of course, flipping over to other games, Westminster the only game today, but looking ahead to the week, Concordia and Teal, Hiram and Heidelberg, Utica and W&J, and Sewanee and Bethany. A lot of those non-conference games to start the year. Geneva, Widener, John Carroll, Waynesburg, Hilbert, St. Vincent, and Denison versus Allegheny to round out this week's packed schedule.
Not a lot of history between Westminster and Marietta. Did play a game last year, Open Doors Bowl Series. They played the final game in the Extra Points Bowl. Westminster a 27-13 win back in November of 2024. They also opened against each other in 1974.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you said not a big, long history years-wise, but games-wise, only 5. This is the 6th meeting between those two teams. Westminster on a 4-game win streak. Marietta's first and only win, all the way back in 1969.
We're going to take a look at some of the numbers from a year ago for Westminster and Marietta. Titans there on the right on your screen, Marietta on the left. You can see both teams scored pretty well last year and didn't allow many. So a lot of balance in the schedule. Looking in that first frame, the one that jumps out at me is that Marietta only allowed 79 yards a game running.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at the rushing yards per game, they average over 100 more than they give up, and that's an insane stat just to look at right there. And the points per game, obviously 41 per game to say the least. On this second, passing yards, again, 277. I mean, they don't allow many yards, and 461 on average per game.
And we mentioned new coaching staff. When I talked to Coach Kaufman, he said, if there's a formation on offense, we're going to use it. If there's a formation on defense, we're going to use it. He said we're going to be multiple, and I know that sounds cliche, but he said very multiple when we had our conversation yesterday in the things that they're looking to do. Let's look at some of the key players for this evening's game as we see Marietta make their way out of the floor to field, and our captains there as well. For the Titans, it's Ty McGowan at quarterback. The senior starter with 310 completions in his career. That's 8th all-time in Westminster history. Also 3,613 yards. That's 10th all-time in history. Bright Cannon. Oh, the future's bright with this guy. We talk about that all the time, but he's a demon on special teams, a preseason All-American. He had 4 special team scores a year ago. Next one is Dylan Sleva, 105 tackles last year, including 16 in the Open Doors Bowl. Dylan, a Campbell Trophy nominee. And Big Gene Gary Joseph, second-team All-PAC a year ago. A big pick 6 for a touchdown that sealed the win in the bowl game a year ago.
Absolutely, yeah. Talked to Gene earlier. Said he's trying to get another interception today. But now heading over to the Marietta Pioneers. Key players. Vontae Hodges, their leading rusher last year, 730 yards on the ground and 10 touchdowns. Of the players coming back, he's also the most receiving yards from last year's team with 133. Antoine Johnson, not too much collegiate film, 4 for 8, 41 yards. Looking to see what he can do today. And then the linebacker dynamic duo of Harley Hopkins and Brady McManaway. Hopkins nearing 100 tackles last season, 5.5 sacks, 13.5 tackles for loss, and a forced fumble. Meanwhile, McManaway, 54 tackles, 3 sacks, and 5.5 tackles for loss in his own right.
And both Hopkins and McManaway, those 2 linebackers, preseason All-Americans. Hopkins, first-team preseason All-American as the teams meet at the center of the field for the coin toss with the captains.
Yeah, captains being Braden Micah, Ty McGowan, Dylan Sleva, and Craig Sonson, the punter. Can't wait for this one to get underway, Mark. I mean, it seems kind of cliche, whatever. I'm so excited for this game.
Our officials for this evening's game, our referee is Terry Swager. Michael Burrell, the umpire, Robert Gaylor, the head linesman. Aaron Pritchard, the line judge. Michael Hutton, the field judge. Derek Sullivan, the side judge. And Jason Wilkerson, the back judge. And we'll check it in to make sure we get eyeballs on the official here. And if he turns his mic as the Titans make their way.
Westminster has won the toss, and they've deferred their choice to the second half. Marietta will receive.
So Westminster wins the toss. They defer. And Marietta will get the ball first. Titans come out in the home white uniforms with the blue numbers, the white helmets, the blue stripe. Marietta in the navy blue with the white numbers and stripes as we get you set for this one. We did the key players, and when we did this, we're given a 2 deep, and Antoine Johnson was the guy that's listed as quarterback. He's only, on his career, 4 of 8 passing for 41 yards. That's compared to McGowan's, 310 completions, 3,600 yards. So huge difference as we look at the quarterback battle here. And I don't know if Antoine Johnson is going to be the guy that gets the bulk of the throws. Talked to Coach Kaufman. He mentioned Johnson. He mentioned also in the quarterback room of having Joe Tenta, a sophomore. And he liked to talk about Amari Jenkins, a junior, a transfer at 6'3", 200. Any of those guys could see time, but Ty McGowan's numbers as a Titan have been historic. He continues to move up, and he's one of the guys that Coach Benzel really talked a lot about in the preseason. Really loves him as a leader. He says if you're going to play quarterback at Westminster, you're going to have a little bit of everything, but you must, and these are non-negotiable, you must be a practice guy. You must be a leader. You must be in your playbook. You must be in the weight room and handle your academics. There were no negotiables in that list when Coach Benzel talks about a quarterback, and Ty McGowan, a guy that's been able to handle all of those things. We are moments away for kickoff, getting you set for the opening week as Westminster won the toss. They deferred. Let's take a quick look at the Westminster defense.
Looking at the defense starting for Westminster, some youth, some age and experience. Gene Gary Joseph and Wes Dawn are the 2 defensive ends at defensive tackle. Sonny Kazanzale and Mason Manos, the linebacker trio of Dylan Sleva, A.J. Bird, and Aiden Fletcher. A lot of young defensive backs, Mark. Lamont Austin and Bright Cannon getting the start at cornerback. Ricky Cooper at strong safety, number 8. And a free safety that's number 3, Mark, but not Bryce Butler. It's going to be freshman Devin Mila. Big shoes and a big number to fill there.
That's interesting that he just recently switched the number. I guess Bright Cannon had something to do with negotiating to get him number 3.
He said he was his agent. He went into the Coach Benzel's office.
That's pretty cool. Andrew Carana set to kick it off for the Titans. He'll wear number 26 on the white jersey in blue as our officials wait for the official game clock to drop down to 0, and we will get this going.
Yeah, Westminster debuting those new white jerseys they got this offseason. Whiteout game in New Wilmington. Awaiting the kick from Carana, my apologies, and we're going to be underway here.
Good now, set to return with Hodges, both standing at about the 5-yard line. Carana with the kick to Hodges near side at about the 6-yard line. Moves to his right and hammered as it gets to about the 23-yard line. And that's where we'll see the offense of Marietta. Let's take a look. Offensive Marietta will have
You got Braden Adams, Nate Curry, Gunnar Fox, Steven Rhodes, and Brady Schildwalker on the offensive line. Of the receivers, Gavin Blinn, John Serpatowski, Lewis Goodnow. And at quarterback, we've got Antoine Johnson, Vontae Hodges, and Kenyon Franklin.
Johnson did make his way out there to start. Franklin will be split wide to the near side after that Sullivan hit on the opening kickoff. 2 receivers left and a shotgun set, and the officials with a flag right away and a delay of game going to be called on Marietta.
Not the way you want to start your season
Delay of
with
game
a penalty.
on the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
Johnson, the quarterback, looks over to the sideline, puts his hands to his sides. Like, what did we do wrong there? Coach Kaufman confused a bit as well, but that's the penalty, and that'll back him to 1st and 15 from the 18-yard line. Johnson, the quarterback, will hand up the middle and up to the 20-yard line and being pushed back is Vontae Hodges.
Gang of Titans there, including Dylan Sleva, Sonny Kazanzala, and Mason Manis. No gain there for the star Hodges for Marietta. 2 plays, no gain.
You think about Hodges, about 700 yards rushing a year ago. And the Titan defense returning Sleva as that leading tackler among others. A.J. Bird, a young linebacker, missed a year ago, and he's now back and playing the Mike linebacker spot on 2nd down and 21. Handoff up the middle, and diving out across, the ball's out. Diving across, well, recovered quickly, but Hodges will take it across the 26. Looked for a moment like the ball was out, but Hodges gathered it quickly. A.J. Bird, who we just talked about, makes the tackle.
Absolutely. Athletic freak, got a good mind to be the Mike linebacker there. Westminster starting off as kind of a nickel look with Aiden Fletcher in that nickel DB, kind of guard tight ends area right now. Big 3rd down here for Marietta.
3rd and about 6 here from the 27-yard line. Johnson in the shotgun with 5 receivers in the set. Johnson back to pass. Quick throw, near side, caught and dumped. Cannon there, and the ball comes out. Cannon able to knock it out. Incomplete pass. It would have been close to a 1st down if Kenyon Franklin could have held on, but Bright Cannon, who we'll see on the field all the time as he now drops back to return the punt. But the preseason All-American as a returner makes a big play.
Absolutely. You can rarely find a player with the Swiss Army knife ability like Bright Cannon to play all 3 phases of the game and succeed at such a high level. I believe he could be a preseason All-American if he just played one side of the ball or didn't play special teams, but all 3 sides.
4 returns a year ago. Cannon back to return. Pressure coming. Punt nearly blocked by his brother Clayton Cannon. Punt goes out of bounds off the foot of Bailey. A short punt. And Clayton Cannon, who you talked to earlier in the game, what did Clayton want to do today?
I talked to Clayton. He said he wanted a few statistical marks, but he said he wanted a block punt, and he nearly got it there on the 1st drive.
Let's take a look at that Westminster offense. Titans led by Ty McGowan in the quarterback spot.
Of course, Ty McGowan, the quarterback. Clayton Cannon Jr., the lead back of the offense so far. Bright Cannon, Tate Beachy, and Christian Bailey, the trio of receivers. Nate Wadsworth, the tight end, and the line left to right. Dante Campani, Kyle Crown, Jack Kreider, Gage Zagonski, and Braden Micah.
One thing you love about the Titans is there's a lot of guys that love to play special teams. Your starting running backs, your starting wide receivers, they can be key. 1st and 10 from the 47. Low snap and hand to Clayton Cannon. Bounces off one man but not another. Looks like he's going to lose about a yard on the play.
Early there, a 2 tight end set. Going to see Brock Koval out there with Nathan Wadsworth. You said a lot of 2 tight end sets for Westminster with whether it's Koval or Wadsworth or Bearfield. It's a lot of tight ends in this Westminster offense, and offensive coordinator E.J. White really loves to run more than one in a lot of sets.
E.J. White, the new offensive coordinator for the Titans. Cannon is to the near side. Motion for the Titans is Grayson to the near side as well. On second down, another handoff right side and nowhere to go again for Clayton Cannon. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage for a gain of about a yard.
Yeah, stout defense so far for Marietta. Bryant Young in there on the tackle for the Pioneers. Few defensive substitutions for Marietta. Westminster keeps the same unit out there for this third down.
New offensive coordinator E.J. White, 5 years experience as an OC. As of late was at Edinburgh in 2024 with former Titan assistant Jack Nolf as the head coach. So it's third down and 10. Tate Beachy joins receivers into the lineup. He's a slot to the near side and a shotgun on third and 10 from the Titans 47. Back to pass, McGowan looking and now dumps it off and juggled and couldn't hang on. Intended there for Clayton Cannon. He had some room to run if he could hang on, but does not hold on to the checkoff, and it'll be fourth down in a punting situation possibly for the Titans.
Yeah, tough call there with, kind of an improv play. Not exactly what Clayton Cannon and Ty McGowan expected. Could have had room to run there, but a tough one nonetheless.
So Craig Sanson Jr. will be out there looking to punt it away. One returner is good now, and he's back at about the 14-yard line. Sanson with a spiraling kick. It will be fielded at the 6, and again it's knocked down right away. Hustling down to make the play is the snapper, Jackson Koval.
Yeah,
so Koval, the freshman out of Titusville, the new long snapper, and the Titans sprint the snapper down the field every time, and Koval made a nice play.
Of course, Coach Benzel had high praise for Jackson Koval, the long snapper, making a great play. Great first impression on his first special team snap.
Colin Bartley was the snapper for the last couple of years for the Titans, and we often would see him down the field. Jackson can do the same. The freshman has come in and won that long snap job. So they'll start the drive back at the 6-yard line. And Johnson, the quarterback, with Hodges behind him. The hand will go to Hodges up the middle, breaks it to the outside of the 10, 15, 20, and finally banged out of bounds on the far side.
Devin Miller making the hit there. Hodges cutting back and getting a little room outside, using that speed. A.J. Bird couldn't quite get the angle on him, but showing the athleticism, hawking down Hodges there.
So good run for Hodges to set up now first and 10 out to the 25. Mila, the freshman, wearing number 3, made his first Titan tackle. First and 10. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Snap to Johnson, hand to Hodges, left side, and no room this time. Maybe a yard as he went off the left side, cost Gonzalez and others to make the play.
Yeah, Sonny and West there. The former freshman, now sophomore duo on the defensive line making a play there. Got 2 seniors on one side with Manis and Joseph, 2 sophomores on the other side. A lot of youth on this defense.
Coach Benzel talked glowingly about this defensive line, the depth, the speed, the athleticism. A nice play there by Donner to submarine things, and then Costanzali to finish it off. It'll be second down and 9. From the 26-yard line with 2 receivers to the near side, 1 far side. Johnson taking his time. And will hand to Hodges, left side, gets around Donner, down the sideline, and poked out of bounds with a run out to about the 33-yard line. We'll see where they mark it right in front of the Marietta bench. Coach Tom Kaufman hopping out of the way on that play. Third down and 3 for Marietta.
Coach Kaufman said they'd see a lot of formations. If there's a formation, they'd run it. A lot of runs so far for Marietta. Waiting to see if they'll drop back with Johnson or not.
Sorpoltowski to the left, Franklin to the right, under center this time. And the hand to Hodges, and he will get close to the first down, reach out at the last moment. The head linesman on the near side is coming in about a half a yard short, setting up a fourth down decision for Coach Kaufman.
Keeping it on the ground with their superstar running back, Hodges. We talked about the numerous quarterbacks that could play this game.
Gain of 2 on the play, 4th and 1.
It's going to be 4th and 1. Looks like they go for it. Coach Kaufman pacing back and forth on the sideline, imploring his team. Big play on 4th and 1 from their own 34. Hodges the back, turn, hand, Hodges tripped up, hit at the line of scrimmage, and he's going to have just enough to get the first down.
Mason Manis and Aiden Fletcher right there. I mean, if it wasn't 4th and 1, that would have been a turnover on downs. Just got enough to keep the drive going, moving the chains.
A big play there for Marietta, picking up a first down on 4th and 1. Again, from their own 36-yard line. Serpentowski will go wide to the left, Franklin to the near side. Slot on that left side as well. Looks like Benny Lewis, a sophomore, now in as the back to the left of Johnson. And it's a fake, and Johnson's going to run it to the left side, crosses the 40, slips through a tackle, and dives out to about the 42-yard line.
First look at Johnson there, changing it up a little bit. Hodges not getting the carry there. Keeping it on the ground is Marietta, chewing clock, keeping this possession in their hands.
Leland Anderson checking in along the Titan defensive line here. 2nd down and 4 from Marietta's 42-yard line. 2 receivers will come to the near side, 1 far. And Johnson in the shotgun. Fletcher approaches the line of scrimmage, fake handoff, quick throw, near side in the flat, caught, and immediately pulled down was Blinn. Up to make the play for the Titans. Ricky Cooper, Bird there as well.
Yeah, Bird and Cannon, I believe, on that tackle. Bird kind of wrapped up Blinn. Bright immediately goes for the ball, starts trying to rip at it and force a turnover.
Gain out to the 44-yard line. 3rd down and 2. 8:07 on the clock here in the first quarter. Second offensive possession for Marietta. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Motion for Blinn. Pitch back to the back and on the run near side and picking up the first down will be Benny Lewis as he'll skirt out of bounds across midfield.
Yeah, a lot of Hodges to start this second drive, and he back into the game now for Lewis. Ground and pound for Marietta, kind of surprising compared to last year's offense. But new system, new OC, new DC, basically, like you said, new X's and O's for this entire program.
First time into Titan territory for Marietta. 2 receivers left, a wing to the left, receiver wide right. Antoine Johnson takes the snap, swings it out to Hodges, breaks a tackle at the 40, to the 35, to the 30, and out of bounds with another Marietta first down.
First drive for the Pioneers really stalled out. Getting it going now is Marietta in this offense, keeping it in their star players' hands.
Hodges is one of the key returners from a high-powered offense a year ago. Veerstra was the all-star quarterback for the last couple of years. He has since graduated. A couple of their top wide receivers in graduation or transferring, but Hodges returns, and he's done a good job. 1st and 10 from the Titan 30. And a fake handoff. Johnson back to pass, looking under pressure, deep over the middle. Man open, and he overshoots the intended receiver. Intended into the end zone for John Serpentowski.
Holding on the offense, number 71. It's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, you can see it there. A.J. Bird getting around the edge, kind of got the horse collar back of the jersey, grabbed the official right there, throw the laundry onto the field.
He had good pressure off the edge. 7:02 to go here in the first quarter. No score. Westminster and Marietta. And that penalty will push them back to the 40-yard line. Serpentowski, though, did find himself wide open in the end zone. Johnson just overthrew him by a bit. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Johnson stands in the shotgun. Back with a straight drop. Quick fire over the middle, and this knockdown. Gary Joseph may have gotten a hand on that. And West Donner picked up the ball, but it hit the ground first. But Big Gary got the hands up and knocked it down.
Absolutely. Doing a little Dikembe Mutombo there. No with the finger wag after the knockdown. Little plays like that can matter because that comes from, a little completion for 5 or 6 yards to cut it to 2nd and 15. Now it's 2nd and 20 still. And it seems like we have an injured Pioneer on the far side near the 44-yard line.
Injury timeout, so we'll take a timeout as well with 6 minutes and 58 seconds to go here in the first quarter. No score, Marietta and Westminster. Back with more in a moment on your home of the Titans, WCN. Back here, Westminster College, Mark Slazak along with Jacob Rhodes, Ethan Kurtz. Second down and 20 for Marietta in a scoreless game here with 6:58 to go in this first quarter. Injured player popped up and got off the field under his own power. 4 receivers in the set. Shotgun for Johnson. Johnson, fake handoff, back to pass, and gets to run out of trouble up across the 30 and takes a big hit there.
Dylan Sleva putting that shoulder into Johnson. Last year's game MVP in that Open Doors Bowl. 16 tackles you talked about. Adds 1 right there. Not going to be his last of the game. I can guarantee it, Mark.
Able to get to the Titan 29. Got about half the yardage back. It's 3rd down and 9. Marietta moving left to right first quarter. Their deepest penetration. They picked up a key 4th down in their own territory to keep this drive alive. 3rd and 9 from the 29. Johnson with 3 receivers to his right. And will fake a handoff. Back to pass. Johnson in trouble, being pressured, and tried to dump it off far side. But Sonny Casanzale was in his grill. Tried to throw it over the big 6'4" player and threw it incomplete, intended for Johnson on the far side.
Yeah, Sonny there. It's only his 4th year of football. Started in his junior year of high school. Coach Benzel had nothing but good things to say about the sophomore and his improvement from his freshman season to this season.
So 4th down and 9. The offense going to stay out there. Kind of in no man's land here. Too far for a field goal, too close to punt, so they'll stay out there on a big 4th and 9. 4th and 9 from the 29. 3 receivers right, 1 left. And Johnson takes the snap. Back to pass. Looks to his right. Fires it above the head of the intended receiver, Lewis Goodnow. Again, pressure in his face. Pass incomplete. And a turnover on downs. Titan ball.
Westminster, Marietta driving pretty good onto the Titans for that holding penalty. They were dipping and dunking, getting into Titan territory. Westminster holds up on the 4th and 9. Titans getting the ball back.
I mentioned they had picked up a big first down going forward on 4th down and 1 at their own 36. But this time they do not convert. And Johnson, the last couple of passes, Jake, not much time at all.
No, a lot of pressure from that Westminster defensive line that Coach Benzel, really praised.
2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Back to pass is McGowan looking. He's got time. He rolls. He fires it out of bounds. Had Koval down the field on that side of the field. Kind of a slow developing play with a couple of tight ends in there, and McGowan throws it away.
Talked about pregame the tight ends. We got Wadsworth, Burfield, Koval. Koval more the vertical threat like Chevy Dawson, like Alex Shaughnessy. Burfield and Wadsworth might those in the trenches, 6th, 7th linemen for the Titans. Get ready to see a lot of tight ends and a lot of different aspects and views this season.
A lot of different looks for Coach E.J. White, first-year Westminster offensive coordinator. 3 receivers are going to come to the near side in this set. Shotgun for McGowan, 2nd and 10. Quick throw into the flat, and hit after the catch was Tate Beachy. Hammered immediately as coming off the edge there was Tyson Starr defensively to make the play.
Yeah, Tyson Starr kind of slipped there. It looked like he was out of the play, got back up, power drives Beachy into the turf. 3rd and 14 now for the Titans. Got to get something going here on offense quickly.
Replay on it, you can see the slip, and actually almost got there a little bit too soon. They will call it a catch, a loss of 4. 3rd down and 14 for the Titans, back at their own 25. 3 receivers in the set for McGowan. Straight drop, looking, fires deep over the middle, caught by Beachy, stretches for the first down. It looks like he's going to be a little bit short. Made the catch across the 35 to the 36. And the Titans sending out what it looks to be maybe the spider punt group with Sean O'Shea coming out. Sanson is out there as well. And it looks like it's a regular punt formation, but we'll keep an eye on that. It was Fletcher that came out, not Sean O'Shea. So the regular punt group. Sanson stands at the 22. Pressure coming, gets the kick away. A high spiraling kick. It'll be grabbed back at the 25-yard line. making the fair catch on the play was Goodnow. And again, Jackson Koval was down the field and ready to make a play.
I mean, he's the first guy there, just absolutely bustling down after the long snap, getting there. I can see his name popping up a lot on special teams this year, just after these first 2 punts.
Scheme-wise, the Titans allow their snapper to fly down the field. He has no blocking responsibility. And defensively, you can't line up anybody on the snapper.
Yeah.
So Koval, who's a great athlete, could be a huge factor on special teams. 4:30 to go here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 from the Titans at the 25. Low snap, hand to Hodges, cut back across the 25 to the 30, and a good run for a first down. Hodges out to the 40-yard line.
Westminster not had an answer for Hodges thus far in this first quarter. 4:17 remains, still a scoreless game. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Marietta going to keep giving it to their star running back.
With a couple of receivers to the near side, and Goodnow and Franklin. 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line of Marietta. And again, Hodges up the middle with a big hole. Going to be grabbed by Sleva and pulled down short of the 45.
Dylan Sleva once again all in there. Different defensive line set right now for Westminster. Jordy Gore, Dante Curry, and Solomon Davis, to name a few out there for the Titans. Leland Anderson, also freshman, out there, defensive tackle.
Hodges 9 carries, 57 yards here in the first quarter. 2nd down and about 6, 3:27 to go in the first. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Johnson in the shotgun will hand off. And getting a first down is Benny Lewis. Lewis up the middle across the 50 to the 45, all the way down to about the 41-yard line. Change of pace back. Benny Lewis, 5'7", 183-pounder out of Baker County down in Sanderson, Florida.
No answer. I sound like a broken record. Benny Lewis and Hodges. The run game has been very prominent and strong for Marietta thus far.
88 first quarter yards on the ground. Here's another handoff to Lewis. Takes it to the left side with a nice cutback inside the 40. And we'll work down to about the 36. Titans defense gave up yardage on the last drive. Big holding penalty against Marietta kind of backed them up, and then the defense able to kind of bend but not break. Got the turnover on downs. The Titan offense yet to create anything. And Marietta has dominated the first quarter time of possession. 2:19 to go in the first. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Handoff Hodges. Hodges with a cutback. Gets hammered as he gets to the 30-yard line, but looks like he has enough for another Marietta first down.
The Westminster defensive front, the front 4 at least, getting a good push on the few passing plays we saw. They pushed back the pocket and kind of made Johnson scramble. But on these runs, getting perfect holes as Hodges and Lewis and taking advantage of them using that speed.
So 1st down and 10. Ball to the Titan 30-yard line. They'll split Franklin out wide to the right. The slot to that right side is good now. And a handoff again, and then this time Gene Gary Joseph's going to knock Hodges back. He'll be finished off of the backfield for a big loss on the play.
Gene Gary Joseph getting right there. He said, I had enough of this. Got off the edge, got Hodges, finished off by Sonny Casanzale and Ricky Cooper. Here you see Titans swarming. Wes Donner, Casanzale, Sleva, just to name a few in there on Hodges. Great TFL for the Titans.
A big hit by Gene Gary, and then the rest of the guys ready to knock him back. A loss of 14 on the play. 2nd and 14 from the 34, 1:05 to go in the first. 3 receivers right now, motioning back is Blinn. And he'll change direction back to his right. Johnson back to pass. Quick slant, caught in traffic, but Goodnow going to be down right away as Dylan Sleva there to make the play.
Goodnow takes the kind of slot tunnel screen almost. Quick slant, like you said, gets a gain of maybe 1 or 2. Let's get back to 3rd and 12 now. Seconds ticking in this first quarter.
Play clock at 29, game clock at 33, so they'll have to run another play here. A 3rd down and 13 from the Titan 33-yard line. Hodges is the back to the right of Johnson. 3 receivers load the right. Take the snap, the fake handoff. Johnson looking, fires up the middle. It's caught for a first down inside the 20, inside the 15. Lewis Goodnow going to be setting up at about that 15-yard line. First down into the red zone for Marietta.
Westminster keeps getting the Pioneers in situations that their defense likes, then gives it up on 3rd and 12 there, had a few first downs on a long run, and it's going to end the first quarter, and it's been all Marietta, time of possession-wise at least.
First quarter in the books. We'll take a break. Back with quarter two when we return. After one quarter, Marietta nothing, Westminster nothing on your home of the Titans, WCN.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Pizza Joe's in New Wilmington, offering pizza, stromboli and calzones, subs, wings, and salads. Pizza Joe's open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. at 209 South Market Street in New Wilmington.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Riardo's Bar and Grill, offering homemade Italian dishes, game nights on Mondays, and trivia nights on Wednesdays. Located at 1223 East Washington Street in Newcastle. Riardo's Bar and Grill, opening at 4 p.m. every day and closed on Sundays. Visit riardos.com or call 724-698-7259.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Gilliland's Market, offering quality meats and groceries at 109 South Market Street in New Wilmington, Pennsylvania. Gilliland's Market, open Monday through Thursday, 9 to 5, Friday, 9 to 6, and Saturday, 9 to 3, closed on Sundays.
We're ready to start this second quarter, and the time of possession has been dominated by Marietta through one.
Yeah, to say the least. 11:57 versus 3 minutes and 3 seconds for the Titan offense. And, you know, you got a few players like Bright Cannon, mainly just Bright, that play both sides, tiring them out. This Marietta team has just been ground and pound, keep the ball on the ground unless they have to. And right in front of us here, see Sonny Casanzale kind of down in a squatted position, getting checked out by a few trainers here.
So had been dealing with a little bit of a issue with his elbow, but we'll keep an eye on that. So it's 1st and 10 as we start the second quarter. Mark Slazak along with Jacob Rhodes and Ethan Kurtz. Johnson under center will turn and hand off to Hodges. Hodges with the cutback, and he is down inside the 15, work his way to about the 10-yard line before the pile will finally push him back. At the end of that first quarter, 110 yards on the ground for Marietta. Westminster with 0.
Yeah, looking at Hodges through this first quarter, really aggressive run, reminding me of Isaiah Pacheco from the Kansas City Chiefs. Runs with his head down. He trucked one of his guards on that play there trying to get a hole. Very aggressive runner is number 21 for the Pioneers.
So he picked up about 5 on the carry. 2nd down and 5. Ball at the 10-yard line. Receivers are split to each side with the tight end on the right. Johnson with Hodges behind him. Again, the hand to Hodges up the middle, and Hodges hit at the line of scrimmage. Titans trying to rip the ball out of there, and Hodges keeps the feet moving. He's down to about the 8-yard line.
Coach Benzel talked about the red zone efficiency. Got to stop the opposing teams when they get down into the red area. Westminster trying to do so about 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3 from the 8. Receivers are wide to each side. Johnson with Hodges behind him. Turn, handoff, Hodges up the middle. Hodges burrows down to the 5-yard line. And that looks like that'll be enough for the first down.
Substitution for the Titans now. Jordy Gore coming in for Leland Anderson.
And we're waiting for them on the chains. It looks like they will say first down. It's 1st down and goal at the 5-yard line. Previous drive was a 14-play drive that ended in a turnover on downs. And now in double digits again in another drive is Marietta.
Yeah, both of these Marietta drives have been very long and time-consuming. Both drives passing Westminster's 2 drives play counts combined. Westminster hasn't had the ball much in this first half so far.
Taylor's out wide to the right. Had a fullback to the formation. And the hand is to Hodges, and Hodges will push up the middle. Gore gets a hold of him, pulls him down short of the goal line. Looks like they'll be down to the 1-yard line, 2nd down and goal.
No answer for Marietta thus far for the Titan defensive front. I think it does benefit Westminster in these tighter formations closer to the goal line, having your physical defensive backs up near the line of scrimmage to possibly make some stops.
2nd down and goal from the 1, 12:35 to go here in the first half. Again, they go with the I formation. Johnson Under center, hands to Hodges, Burrow's left side, and he's not in. Titans will stonewall him there. Casanzale comes off the bottom of the pile. You can see from our side angle shot, just about a half a yard short. Sleva there as well on the play to bring up 3rd and 1.
Big play here for the Titans. Got to keep the Pioneers out of the end zone here. No score thus far. 11:54 remaining in the second quarter. Tight formation for the Pioneers.
Jallo, the fullback. Hodges behind him. Hand to Hodges. Hit again at the line of scrimmage. Pile moves, and it's a touchdown. Able to keep the legs churning. Got enough push. He was stopped originally, but it's a touchdown for Marietta.
Keep those legs churning. Quarterback Antoine Johnson gets a little bit of a push in the back of the formation there. Leads to 6 for the Pioneers. Opening score for this Thursday night action.
A 1-yard run. And into the end zone for Vontae Hodges.
Interesting formation here for Marietta.
Yeah, swinging gate. We'll see if they adjust back to regular kick. They won't. They're going to snap it. They're going to throw for the end zone, and it's knocked away. So a 2-point conversion attempt. They snapped it back to Quentin Sheets, the normal holder. He's not listed as a quarterback, just as a kicker punter. Kind of a swinging gate formation to both sides, and he threw it into the corner of the end zone, and it does not complete. So at the end of the drive, they get the touchdown and take a 6-0 lead as they don't get the extra point. We're back with more in a moment. Marietta 6, Westminster 0 on your home of the Titans, WCN.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Riardo's Bar and Grill, offering homemade Italian dishes, game nights on Mondays, and trivia nights on Wednesdays. Located at 1223 East Washington Street in Newcastle. Riardo's Bar and Grill, opening at 4 p.m. every day and closed on Sundays. Visit riardos.com or call 724-698-7259.
Back here at Westminster College, Mark Slazak along with Jacob Rhodes and Ethan Hertz, and 11:43 to go here in the first quarter. Was it Vontae
Number
Hodges.
4 of Westminster is now wearing number 68.
Thank you to our official. That'll be Donner on kick coverage. We're going to get to our Dar Huey trivia after this kickoff as well, so stay tuned for that. Our consummate Titan athletic historian is standing by. So Sheets set to kick off. Bright Cannon and Demir White are deep for the Titans. And it's a line drive kick to the near side that Cannon will let roll, and it stays in bounds. He grabs it at the 3, makes a man miss. He's in trouble and ripped down. A flag comes down. We might have a high tackle. Might have got a face mask or a horse collar back there at about the 2-yard line on a dangerous return for Bright Cannon.
Yeah, if I could describe Bright Cannon in a play, that'd be it right there. Try to make something out of nothing. Thought it might have gone out of bounds. Stays in bounds, keeps a Marietta Pioneer bounce.
Personal foul, face mask on the kicking team. That's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. It'll be first down.
Kind of bails the Titans out there with a great.
You can see the replay right here, and you can see there's the face mask. A couple of different players in there. Might have been Isaiah Mitchell there defensively, who got the face mask. The Titans will get bailed out on that. The penalty, instead of starting this drive right at around maybe the 1 or the half-yard line, they'll be out to about the 17. I guess they called the penalty at about the 2.
Yeah.
2 receivers right, 1 left. And McGowan. Quick throw, near side, caught by Cannon, and Cannon going to be hit and dropped right away at about the 20-yard line, short gain. Some of the stats from the first quarter, what jumps out at you?
Yeah, looking at some of the stats, I mean, obviously time of possession, but no first downs yet for Westminster. 22 rushes and 125 yards on the ground for Marietta. Not a single rushing yard for Westminster. Total offensive yards, 6 plays, 7 yards. Not a great average, especially with that play right there.
Yeah, that one just picking up 3, 2nd and 7 from the 21 with 11 on our first half clock. Receivers wide to each side. Koval, the tight end, comes in motion, right to left. And here's a handoff, and it's Clayton Cannon with a move across the 25, out across the 26, and close to a first down. We'll see with a mark.
Yeah, we
Time to
see
take a look at Dar Huey trivia. Which of the following sport luminaries did Dr. Harold Burry, who the stadium is named after, did not have contact with during his lifetime? Soak on that for a little bit. We'll come back to it for an answer. As the Titans facing now first down as they did move the chains on the Clayton Cannon run. Here's a handoff. Again, Cannon up the middle, runs into his own man Kreider, and then bounces backwards and is thrown for a loss. He had a hole but ran into the back of his center and then got pushed backwards. All in all, about a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, we saw in the score update there, Heidelberg all over Hiram, 20-0 in the first quarter. They're the only other PAC game not going the Terriers' way in their debut in the President's Athletic Conference. Got to think about that trivia, though. A lot of good answers there. No, it's not Vince Lombardi.
Bronco Nagurski, Buzz Riddle.
We'll think about it. We'll think about it.
We'll bring it up one more time after this play. 2nd down and 12 for the Titans. Motion is Beachy behind McGowan. McGowan back to pass, rolls, looks, and he's going to run it out of bounds. Get hit as he crosses the sideline and into the bench. Time to answer this Titan trivia with the Pioneers up 6-0. You want to take a guess?
Yeah, I'm either B or C. I'm going to say Glenn Cunningham.
All right, sounds good. Let's see, guys and ladies. The answer is Bronco Nagurski.
Got to get my knowledge up. 0 for 1 on the year. Looking to be above 500 by the end of the season, Mark.
Thank you, Dar Huey. Learn more about the Titan tradition visiting the Dar Huey Heritage Center inside Memorial Fieldhouse today. 3rd and 12 for the Titans. Moving left to right from the 25 of Marietta, trying to get this offense going. McGowan back to pass, pressured as he throws deep down the field. Caught by Beachy. Hey, it's a Titan first down out near midfield.
That Moon Boys connection does not go away despite this season. Last season here in New Wilmington started off with a bang. Tate Beachy to around the 50-yard line.
Got a chance to watch the 2 high school teammates on a big throw with pressure in his face. McGowan to Beachy. The high school teammates connect. 1st and 10 from midfield. And the handoff to Clayton Cannon, and he'll be dropped at about the 49.5, maybe lost a half a yard on the play. Not much room that time. You see 56 a few times right there. Braden Micah, high ankle sprain early this week, trying to fight through it. You can see him limping a bit after that play in the previous play as well, but trying to fight through. Play the right tackle. Micah
stalwart,
really put on a lot
line.
of muscle over the offseason. Actually lost 10 pounds, but gained muscle in conversion.
Yeah, he's
working
something
with
on
the
that line.
Kyle Piper and the Grissetti Performance Group. 2nd down and 11 here. Low snap, fake handoff. McGowan going to run it left. Oh, it gets hammered as he crosses the 50 to about the 49-yard line.
There's that preseason All-American, Harley Hopkins. Not the kind of hit you want to see your star quarterback taking this early in a game or season, let alone. But the running game for Westminster not been on par to previous seasons. Trying to make something work here.
I think the officials sent him off. His helmet came partially off, so McGowan's out. Sean O'Shea comes in to replace him. There was a Hopkins hit on McGowan that actually knocked him out of the open doors extra points
Timeout,
play.
Westminster.
Titans
Their first timeout.
Titans going to take a timeout here.
Try to get Ty back on the field there.
Give us a chance to talk a little bit about Westminster.
Of course, Westminster College has been named one of the nation's top 100 liberal arts colleges by Washington Monthly in its 2025 College Guide and Rankings. Westminster ranked 63rd overall, a 16-spot jump from last year, and is one of only 2 liberal arts colleges in Western Pennsylvania to earn a top 100 placement. The rankings measure colleges on their contributions to the public good, focusing on social mobility, research, and service. Westminster was named a Best Bang for the Buck college in the Northeast, recognizing the college's commitment to making higher education affordable and attainable for students of all socioeconomical backgrounds. Find out more of what Westminster can do for you. Visit westminster.edu today. They got me, Mark. I'm not even from Pennsylvania. They stole me. They stole me across state lines, and now I'm here.
Timeout was taken by Westminster that allows them to keep McGowan in the game. He will not have to miss a play with the helmet coming partially off. So he's out there on a big 3rd down and 9 from the 49-yard line of Marietta. Receivers are wide to each side. A wing on the right, McGowan back to pass. Fires, crossing pattern, and a diving attempt through the hands The intended receiver was a Demir White on a dive. Could not pull it in. 4th down for the Titans around midfield. Let's see what they go with the traditional punt group or if they try something here from midfield.
Got to make something happen here if they're the Titans. I mean, offense has been pretty stagnant besides that Tate Beachy completion to about the 50-yard line. It looks like they're going normal punt formation.
Yeah.
As of right now.
Jr. comes out. Good now set to return. San's punt, another high spiral. Fair catch called for and made it about the 7-yard line. So San Jr. has done a nice job of pushing them back with his punts. But a couple of long drives, one drive of 14 plays that ended in a turnover on downs, and that last touchdown drive was 15 plays, 75 yards, and 747. And that's the only score of the game, the 1-yard touchdown run by Vontae Hodges.
Taking the positives where you can get him, Craig Sanson been great from the punter position, and Jackson Cole, that dynamic duo, forcing those fair catches and pinning Marietta inside the 10-yard line on that one specifically.
So out of the shadow of the end zone, handoff up the middle and breaking tackles and running the ball out to about the 15-yard line is Hodges. Hodges had, as we said, the touchdown, but he's had a solid first half. Now approaching 80 yards in the first half, and injury timeout. As again, Sonny Costanzale is being checked out.
Yeah, slamming his helmet in frustration there. Got to think it's that elbow that's been bugging him for the last week or two. Big hit for the Westminster defensive front that struggled to defend the run so far.
Carry out to the 14-yard line. Will set up a 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, September is Hunger Action Month, and Titan Radio is teaming up with the Mercer County Food Bank for their kickoff event, Ready, Set, Go tomorrow, with a 12-hour event to feed our neighbors. You can get involved and make huge impacts to your community by donating to your time, talent, or treasure. Call 724-981-0353 today to get signed up. Titan Radio, including Mark Slazak and Derek McLafferty, will be on site live from the Mercer County Food Bank starting at noon.
Yeah, really excited to head down to Sharon to the food bank. Hunger Awareness Month and the need greater than ever in the area. So as we see Sonny Costanzale make his way off the field with the training group and Coach Benzel. But yeah, we're looking forward to that food bank remote tomorrow. Catch it on Titan Radio, 88.9. Grab the app. You can listen wherever you are. 12 to 3 on the air tomorrow with that. 2nd down and 4. 2 receivers to the near side. Another handoff to Hodges, kind of ducks through a hole. Sleva will slam him down, but not before it gets to about the 17, 18-yard line and close to a 1st down.
Trying to keep this Marietta offense at bay. No, not too many big plays for the Pioneers. Kind of been slowly grinding away these drives. As you mentioned, 14 plays, 15 plays. The time of possession has been definitely in Marietta's favor. You can score on defense in football, but it's very difficult.
The 3rd down here, this could be a huge play early in this football game. Shotgun for Johnson. And Johnson will hand to Hodges, and he's got a 1st down across the 20 and out to about the 24. You know, early in the game, they went for a couple pass plays on 3rd and short, had some success. A couple times the Titans able to come through, but now going strictly to the ground game. And Hodges coming through with the 1st down, and now they will bring Benny Lewis back into the game as the back.
Love to see flying down from the free safety position. Devin Mila, I mean, getting his head in every single run play, somersaulting in almost.
1st down and 10. And Johnson in trouble. I think he wanted to hand off. There was nobody there. Runs to his right now, fires it up the field, and it's caught. Good for a 1st down to John Serpatowski. Boy, the way he put the ball out, I think he was hoping for a running back there. If not, he just had a good fake. And then Serpatowski able to continue the pattern, and they'll connect for the 1st down.
Broken play or not, Marietta could have looked scripted the way that pass worked right to Serpatowski.
Didn't mention it, but new offensive coordinator as well on the offense and defense for Marietta. Scott Salich, the offensive coordinator, has plenty of big college experience. Here's a handoff. Bird on the blitz. Does not make the tackle. Lewis gets away, but coming up to make the play for the Titans was Ricky Cooper to finish him off. But good penetration that time. Well-timed blitz that time for Jared Heck's defense. As Bird was a good about 4 yards into the backfield. It'll be 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, Bird, an athletic freak at that linebacker position. But Ricky Cooper, a former linebacker, kind of played that nickel role for the Titans last year, moving back to safety, but still showing he's got that hard-nosed mentality to make those tackles.
5:01 on the clock here. First half, 6-0. Marietta leads Westminster. 2nd and 11 now from their own 34 for Marietta. Motion across the formation. Two receivers right. Pressure up the middle. Little screen, and it's incomplete. Now the pressure just too good that time. Pass intended over the middle. I think he wanted to go to Benny Lewis, but overshot him. And you had Ricky Cooper there. He had good pressure up the middle.
A lot of defensive line substitutions. Coach Scott Benzel talked about the depth. Deshaun McBride in there, Alex Garcia, Leland Anderson been in there a lot since Kazanzale's injury, Solomon Davis. There's been 8 or 9 guys on that defensive line just in this first half.
3rd down and 11. Back to passes. Johnson looking, loading, going deep, and it is incomplete over the head of the intended receiver, John Serpatowski. And PAC newcomer of the year a year ago, Lamont Austin in coverage. Sorry, I stole your line. I knew you were going to say it.
Yeah, I got one else. Brother of wide receiver coach Marcel Smith Austin, first year. A few of the players graduated last year, moved right into the coaching role. Bryce Butler, Marcel Smith Austin, just to name a few. And Coach Scott Benzel can't be more happy to have them on his staff.
So 4th and 11, a punting situation. Titans nearly blocked the first punt. That's the kind of thing the Titans need. They need the special teams to be special. Bright Cannon stands back at around the 25. Changing the formation now is Marietta on the punt protection. Bailey sent to kick it. Pressure comes, kicks away. A booming kick. Bright Cannon running back and lets it bounce. It takes a bounce inside the 5 and then is down at about the 2-yard line. Great hustle down the field for Marietta. Jarek Braglin down the field to make the play.
Yeah, crazy hustle there by the Pioneers. Looked like it was a good decision by Bright Cannon to let it go. Bounced at the 20 and rolled, and then kind of died around the 5 or 6.
And unlike the NFL, you can grab the ball and roll into the end zone. It's wherever the ball is touched. You see Coach Benzel having a conversation with Bright Cannon. I think he's going to say, hey, we want you to catch that ball if you can at any time. You can see where the ball is placed there. It's inside the 1, so the Titans start the drive at the half-yard line.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Benzel knows Bright Cannon's a special kid, especially with the ball in his hand. You know, that last one, the kickoff, kind of probably wanted him to take that one, too, that punt there. You know, get the kid the ball in his hands and he can make special things happen. We talked about 4 special teams touchdowns last year. Can't score if you don't try.
Wadsworth will be a fullback in the set. McGowan under center. Clayton Cannon is deep. Hard count for McGowan. As the Titans start this drive deep, hand off to Cannon. He leaps over, man, and it gets hammered. And again, Harley Hopkins there to make a play. Boy, when Harley Hopkins hits you, you know it. And as Cannon jumped into the air to get over a man, he is finished off there. You can see to the near side, 10 right here to make the play while Cannon was leaping over a player that was down.
Yeah, just working his way from that weak side to where the play is. Harley Hopkins just has a nose for the ball, works his way back to the right side, makes a tackle on Cannon, and maybe a gain of half a yard there for Westminster.
Got a ball ended up through the net and onto the field, but the handoff will be to Clayton Cannon. And again, he gets to the 1-yard line and no gain.
Prominent run game for Westminster in my time here and even before that, but so far today have been pretty stagnant. This Marietta front's had a good answer for these numerous backs and looks that Westminster's had.
I don't know if that was on the screen at all or not. When that bunt, Craig Sonsom is getting warmed up, and the ball went through the punting net and was actually on the field at about the 50-yard line. Sam DeVito hustled out to grab the ball, kind of mid-play.
Play of the game.
Maybe. 3rd down and 10, though, no gain. Titans backed up. They'll bring more wide receivers in. Will they risk a pass here in the end zone? Koval trades places on that outside. 3 receivers in the set. And I don't know if they beat the play clock, whether they got a timeout or whether they got a delay. Let's listen in.
False start on the offense, number 72 and 77. It's a half a distance to the goal.
Be the shortest penalty of the year at about half a yard. on the penalty.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have a penalty any place on the field, you love to have it.
Reset the game clock to 2 minutes and 56 seconds.
Love to have it there when you're losing about, a foot or so.
So the clock goes to 2:56. It was showing 3:40 some, so taking a moment to adjust the clock. They're still not quite ready.
First game jitters. It's
Yeah.
everybody's first game in a while since November.
Eduardo Torres, a receiver, he's out wide to the right. Cannon is a slot right side.
Please reset the game clock to.
I think we're there at 2:56.
There we go.
They were trying. They were
Absolutely.
trying. It wasn't
Absolutely.
like they weren't.
That's all you can ask for.
3rd down and 10, the Titans at their own about half-yard line. McGowan will be in a shotgun. Clayton Cannon beside him. McGowan back to pass. Looking, loading, going long for Bright Cannon. He made the catch! At about the 40-yard line, over the shoulder. Oh, the future Bright. Bright Cannon with a grab for a big Titan first down.
Absolutely. 3 Pioneers within a few yards of Bright Cannon. Perfect over-the-shoulder pass. Ty McGowan trusts his sophomore standout preseason All-American. As we see the replay here, a good pocket protection from the Titans lets McGowan load up 3 guys. Perfect over the shoulder for Bright Cannon around the 40-yard line.
Somebody went down with a cramp right away, and they were working on that immediately. Misty Motter and the crew. Misty now the new head trainer at Westminster, replacing Sean Toomey, who has retired. They worked on somebody, and they could officially mark him out of bounds at the 37 for the 36-yard gain.
Looks like it may be the man who just made the play, number 2, Bright Cannon, now down here on the near side getting worked on by the trainers.
Stretch him out, 2 receivers left, 1 right. Clayton Cannon the back. Bryce brother back to pass. McGowan looks and runs, a lot of room. 40, 45, breaks a tackle, spins through another, and he's got a first down.
A lot of Titans running into each other today. Ty McGowan steps up in the pocket, gets the first down, takes another hit that maybe you don't want number 6 taken.
And a timeout on the field. Westminster
2-minute
picks up a
timeout.
first down. That's the 2-minute timeout. It's Marietta 6, it's Westminster nothing. And we're back with the final 2 minutes of the first half when we return on your home, the Titans, WCN.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Ed & Jerry's Auto Service, 275 North Market Street in New Wilmington, offering auto repair, maintenance, and towing services since 1964. Ed & Jerry's Auto Service, open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Reed Activewear, offering men's and women's activewear and custom embroidery. Located at 1610 West Jackson Street in Painesville, Ohio. Reed Activewear, open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, closed on weekends. Visit reedactivewear.biz or call 440-352-7433.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Sunset Lanes, offering bowling, food, and drinks. Located at 1218 Idaho Street in Farrell, Pennsylvania. Sunset Lanes open every day until midnight, closed on Sundays. Call 724-981-9363 or visit online at bowlingoftheballs.rocks.
Only scoring in this game so far, a 1-yard touchdown run by Vontae Hodges. What was a stagnant Titan offense for almost 2 quarters got a little bit of life on a big pass of about 36 yards from Ty McGowan to Bright Cannon when the Titans were facing a 3rd down from their own half-yard line. Pick up the first down, and now another 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line, their own. Snap to McGowan, back to pass, quick throw over the middle, and dropped. Clayton Cannon had a shot at it, may have peeked up and got up the field just a bit too soon and could not hang on.
Yeah, now off for the speedy transfer from last year, Demir White, getting his 2nd snap of the game from Robert Morris.
Coach Benzel says maybe Clayton kind of the guy that gets to do a little bit of everything, and Demir maybe kind of the home run hitter with his good speed. Titans send 2 receivers to the near side on 2nd and 10. Koval, the tight end, will crab over to the left. Snap, McGowan Rolls, looks, fires. Caught on the screen pass, and it's White across the 45 and run out of bounds. Stops the clock at 1:49, and he's close to a first down. Looks like he might be about a yard short.
Yeah, he kicks it into gear immediately. There's no acceleration period with Demir White. Once he gets the ball, he's at top speed almost instantly. Nears that first down marker, going to be about a yard short at the 43-yard line. Tate Beachy comes off now. 2 tight ends set for Westminster.
McGowan now 5 of 10, 72 yards in the first half. So they will go big, as you mentioned, the tight ends coming off the bench for a third down and about a yard. Still Demir White as the back. He is in an I formation with Koval, the tight end, acting as a fullback. Fake handoff, back to pass. McGowan rolls left, fires, and it is complete. Far side, no, incomplete. They call him out of bounds. So close on a diving attempt along the sideline for Christian Bailey. He made the catch, just could not get the foot in bounds.
Man, after watching this game and last year's game, I don't think Harley Hopkins likes Ty McGowan very much. I mean, last year knocked him out of the game, flying after him here. I mean, like a heat-seeking missile. Sees that number 6 like a bull sees red.
Fourth down and about a yard. Walt Phillips checks into the lineup for Westminster. The graduate student has played running back and linebacker throughout his career. He would be the power guy at 5'8", 205. In a shotgun, McGowan on fourth down. Handoff up the middle. Phillips tries to break it outside and can't find a hole. And the Titans are going to turn over on downs.
Yeah, Walt Phillips trying to make something happen there on the 4th and short. Couldn't quite find a hole. And Coach Benzel visibly upset.
Take a look at our replay here. Just nowhere to go. Bounced it to the outside. Maybe could have put the head down and squeezed in between Wadsworth and Micah on that right side, but instead the turnover on downs for the Titans. And the ball to Marietta at the 44. Their own 44. Just 1:37 on the clock. So the Titans will look to try to hang on here. They will get the ball to start the second half. But you need to stop here with 1:37.
Absolutely big drive here. Just about to mention it. Marietta can get some points on the board here. Westminster.
And a timeout, it looks like, going to be taken, and it is. Timeout taken by Coach
Timeout.
Kaufman.
Marietta, their first timeout.
So with that timeout, we'll take a quick break. And we'll stay here and give us a chance to talk a little bit Westminster.
Talk about Titantown Sports, your favorite student-produced show. Titantown Sports, Westminster College's network's hottest show about college and high school sports, is back on WCN. Each show is loaded with exclusive highlights, behind-the-scenes video, player and coach interviews, and so much more. Every week there's something new, so plan now to watch Titantown Sports every week online on WCN. New sports, competitive cheer, and acro tumbling mentioned this week. And plenty more coming up as each show and each week commences.
Yeah, how about that? The 2 new sports coming to Westminster, acrobatics and tumbling and competitive cheerleading. I have to say, to be honest, I didn't know acrobatics and tumbling was a sport. It was great to hear the Titantown Sports interview today and get a little bit of knowledge on that. Hannah Chrisman, who currently serves as a sports performance coach here at the college, talked a lot about that. We'll get to that more in a second, but it's back to play. Here's the back fake handoff. Johnson's back to pass. Rolling left, being chased. Fires near side. Pass caught near the sideline. A catch made. Phillips will knock the receiver out of bounds on the catch here from the near side. That looked like it was Gavin Blinn, the tight end. But just going back to that acrobatics and tumbling, great segment there today. Ben Kelly and Damian Davala putting that together for Titantown Sports. Check it out. Titantown Sports is available on Vimeo now at the Titan Radio app. Second down, 1:30 to go in the half. Pass right side. Caught, making a nice play in the open field. That was Beyondre to make the nice play for Westminster. Beyondre Charles will pull him down in bounds. And that keeps the clock going at 1:15, sets up a 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, smart play from the freshman, kind of the bright cannon break. As you see to the near side now, Walt Phillips lining up at cornerback.
Press coverage for Phillips, another 2-way player for Westminster. Johnson back to pass on 3rd and 4. Fires over the middle. It's incomplete. And then a big hit to finish him off from Ricky Cooper to make sure there's no chance to make a juggling catch.
Absolutely great hit there by the Titan linebacking core.
Oh,
A.J.
my.
Bird
Oh,
putting
my.
his helmet right into the shoulder pads, showing the emotion. Kid was supposed to be on the field last season. Injury showing his worth right now for Westminster.
He may have gotten into that starting lineup that was filled with young players and freshmen last year for Westminster on the defensive side. And let's see what Coach Kaufman wants to do here. 4th and 4 from midfield. I still don't see a punter out there. And now I do. No, that's not punt. That's not Bailey.
Interesting look for Westminster right now. Walt Phillips at corner, Lamont Austin back, Ricky Cooper back.
Timeout. Marietta, their second timeout.
So Marietta the play clock was running, the game clock was not. So they ran it down, took their timeout. They have one left. 56 seconds on the clock, so it appears to be a punt situation. Titans have not been able to do much in the return game, but Clayton Cannon nearly blocked the opening punt from Bailey. So we'll keep an eye on that. It'll be a 4th and 4 from midfield. They did go for it for a 4th down earlier on a 4th and 1 from their own 36. So we know they're not afraid to maybe take a little bit of a risk. See our cheerleaders on the screen, a whiteout night here at Westminster. Titans wearing the white, a lot of the fans wearing the white T-shirts. But as the temperature gets a little bit colder tonight, some of the white T-shirts being covered up by the hoodies, the coats, or whatever.
Yeah, you came to prepare, Mark. Got the polo on, got the long sleeve underneath, prepared for the elements. It's feeling like an October night as of late, last week or so.
So it is 4th and 4. The punt unit is now out there as Aiden Bailey stands at around the 36. Cannon is back at the 10. Just watch the hard count, and now Westminster takes a timeout. Interesting.
Timeout, Westminster.
It's really the game
their
of chess.
Second timeout.
Really the game of chess and football.
Yeah. I figure, can you get your best lineup there to see how we're going to block this punt, or remind him not to jump off sides, whatever it may be.
Absolutely. Talking about Julie Foudy, join us for an evening with Julie Foudy at Westminster College's or Auditorium on Tuesday, September 23rd at 7 p.m. The doors open at 6. Julie Foudy, legendary captain of the U.S. women's national soccer team, 2-time World Cup champion and Olympic gold medalist, takes the stage alongside ESPN's Sebastian Salazar, a Westminster alum and award-winning broadcaster. You may recognize them both from their work together to cover the U.S. women's national team and the Little League World Series in Williamsport. Don't miss that powerful night full of stories, leadership, and inspiration from a soccer legend, award-winning reporter, and plenty more. Admission is free.
All right, out of the timeout, Bright Cannon goes to stand back at the 10. It'll be fun to see Sebastian back to town, one of our Westminster alum. Bailey's standing at about the 36 in a long count as the play clock just slowly runs. It's down to 10. 56 seconds on the game clock. Still a timeout on the board for Marietta if they choose to use it. And they actually let the play clock run out. I don't know if they called time.
Delay of game, kicking team. That's a 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So now it looks like a traditional punt. Earlier you thought, well, maybe a fake. 4th and 4, maybe some trickery. Instead, they'll back up 5. They'll use their last timeout, and they're set to punt it again. Let's go back to Julie Foudy coming on the 23rd. Sebastian Salazar coming as well. Had a chance to talk to Sebastian out at the Little League World Series this year. He is so excited to be back at Westminster to be basically the moderator for that talk with Julie Foudy. So Bailey set to punt at the 31-yard line. Cannon stands back at the 10. He had 4 return touchdowns a year ago. Pressure coming from the outside. The kick is short, takes a bounce at the 20, and then will go out of bounds on the far side. Officials set to mark it at about the 19-yard line. So Westminster scoreless in this first half. They'll get the ball to start the second half, and we'll see if they try to do anything here from their own 19 with 47 seconds on the clock.
Interesting to see. Westminster may try to push the pace. Their long plays have been 2 pass plays to Tate Beachy and Bright Cannon. Seeing the condition of Bright Cannon after that cramp, he's going back out there with the offense. Why not take a shot? I mean, the offense has been pretty stagnant. Nothing going too well for offensive coordinator E.J. White and his staff. The rushing game's been pretty stagnant. Got to let one loose here, maybe in the half on a bang.
81 passing yards for the Titans, just 15 yards on the ground. And here's handoff. And I think it's Clayton Cannon there on the carry. Short yardage up the middle, so it may answer our question there. And see, the Titans may be looking just to run this half out.
Yeah, a little over 6 minutes left in that Hiram and Heidelberg game in the first half. Heidelberg up 30-0.
It's been a couple years since Hiram's won a game. And moving to the PAC will not make that any easier. Yeah, Titans can run more play here if they want. They have time. 16 on the clock. They'll send trips to the far side. McGowan takes the snap. It's a low snap. Oh, hand to Cannon Jr. coming near side. At the 30, makes a man miss. 35, and he's banged down at about the 38-yard line. Got a first down. And did the Titans call timeout? Clock stopped for a moment here at 4 seconds to move the chain, and may have gotten out of bounds.
Timeout, Westminster.
The Titans did
their
get
third
that
and
timeout.
final timeout.
So Julie Foudy will be here at Aurora Auditorium on September 23rd. And again, that'll be a fun time. I don't know if you got your reservation in yet. You're supposed to make a reservation for that one to get into the auditorium. But again, Sebastian Salazar and Julie for the longest time worked together, covering both sides at the Little League World Series. Julie's moved on to something different, but Sebastian's still again there this year. And Sebastian, a Titan graduate, and takes full advantage of his bilingual skills to interview some of the foreign players. And he does a good job, too, of meeting up with the coaches and the teams and the team moms. And he eats really well out there. So if you get a chance to talk to him, you can ask him about the different team meals that he has shared over the years.
Bunch of orange slices and Capri Suns, eh?
It gets better than that. 1st and 10 from the 36th, but just 4 seconds on the clock. So the Titans will split 4 wides. And now what do we got? Marietta.
Timeout, Marietta.
I guess they had one more.
Their third and final
official had said
timeout.
their last time out earlier, but no, one more. So we go to another timeout, and this time we are going to take a quick break and be back with more in a moment. 4 seconds to go in the first half with a score 6-0 Marietta over Westminster. More in a moment on your home of the Titans, WCN.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by the Inn on Market in New Wilmington. The Inn on Market, located directly across from Westminster College, offers upscale overnight accommodations. Learn more about the Inn on Market by visiting its website at theinnonmarket.com or calling 724-699-9981.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Dev's Books Market. Dev's Books Market, located at 3384 Perry Highway in Newcastle, offering gas, grocery, fresh deli favorites, propane refills, diesel, and so much more waiting for you. Open weekdays from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m., Saturdays from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sundays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Dev's Books Market, your one-stop shop in Newcastle, from books to bites to beyond.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Pizza Joe's in New Wilmington, offering pizza, stromboli and calzones, subs, wings.
McGowan going to air it out far side. It's a jump ball. It is tipped, and it is incomplete. And that's going to be the end of the first half. Right, Cannon was out there. And McGowan launched it down to about the 30-yard line, but that's going to end the half. I think we saw about 5 timeouts in the last 25 seconds or so, but the half has ended. And it's Marietta with a lead of 6-0 here at the half. We'll take a break. Still ahead, Joe Underko, commissioner of the PAC. Tim Wonder, the famous voice of a Westminster biggest touchdown here at this stadium. And we'll talk about that with Tim later. So we'll be back with Joe Underko in a moment. Westminster at the half, trailing Marietta 6-0 on your home of the Titans, WCN.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Pizza Joe's in New Wilmington, offering pizza, stromboli and calzones, subs, wings, and salads. Pizza Joe's open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. at 209 South Market Street in New Wilmington. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Ed & Jerry's Auto Service, 275 North Market Street in New Wilmington, offering auto repair, maintenance, and towing services since 1964. Ed & Jerry's Auto Service open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Sunset Lanes, offering bowling, food, and drinks, located at 1218 Idaho Street in Farrell, Pennsylvania. Sunset Lanes open every day until midnight, closed on Sundays. Call 724-981-9363 or visit online at bowlingoftheballs.rocks.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by the Inn on Market in New Wilmington. The Inn on Market, located directly across from Westminster College, offers upscale overnight accommodations. Learn more about the Inn on Market by visiting its website at theinnonmarket.com or calling 724-699-9981.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Reed Activewear, offering men's and women's activewear and custom embroidery. Located at 1610 West Jackson Street in Painesville, Ohio. Reed Activewear, open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, closed on weekends. Visit reedactivewear.biz or call 440-352-7433.
Back here at Memorial Field inside Harold Burry Stadium, Mark Slazak along with Jacob Rose and Ethan Kurtz. And Marietta leads Westminster by a score of 6-0 at the half. You can see the Westminster Titan Marching Band in the background, but the real action is now in the booth as I am joined by the commissioner of the President's Athletic Conference, Joe Anderko. Welcome in.
Mark, always a pleasure to be with you guys. Thanks for having me tonight.
I love to listen to your little reports on 96.7 every Saturday morning, and I heard you say a couple weeks ago that you were coming to this game, so right away I'm on the text. Joe, you want to come be the halftime guest?
I told those guys I've been chomping at the bit. You know, high school started like 2 weeks ago, and Ohio was like 3 weeks ago, and then had all the big Division I games last weekend, and now finally here we are getting going. So it's been a long time coming, but what a great setting tonight, great crowd. Two heavyweights really exchanging punches here in the first half, it seemed like.
Just the one touchdown, and it's been a good first half. As I say, you want to analyze any of that, what you saw in the first half first? Put your broadcast headsets on first.
Just what I would expect, because these are two really well-coached teams, two physical teams. They're feeling each other out. And Marietta got the score, but I'm sure Coach Benzel's going to go at halftime, make some adjustments, especially because he really didn't know what to expect from a scheme standpoint, given it's a first-year head coach at Marietta. Now they're going to adjust, and we'll see how it plays out in the second half. But two really good football games here playing tonight.
Let's talk about changes in the PAC since football season or even basketball season a year ago. We knew Carnegie Mellon was their way out, so they're no longer playing football or any sports here in the PAC. Hiram has come back to the conference. St. Francis announced they're going to join the conference. Just tell me a little bit about the thoughts on where we're headed with new teams in and teams out and all that.
Well, let's start with Hiram because you mentioned them, and they are playing in all sports this year, so we're thrilled to have the Terrier Athletic Department back. A lot of folks don't know, they were a PAC member in the 70s and the 80s. Them coming back kind of for a lot of the same reasons Allegheny did, because of geography and cost containment and, an academic fit. There's a lot of reasons for it, and we're thrilled to have them back. But, the one that surprised people, obviously, was St. Francis, because it's not every day you see a school drop from Division I down to Division III. Hartford did it, about 4 years ago, I think, when they were coming out of March Madness, and then St. Francis did something similar. So obviously that's, was a long time coming. That announcement was made at the end of March. They're going to start competing in all sports next year, but St. Francis will not be eligible for Division III playoffs right away. They've got to go through a reclassification period. Probably the earliest they would be eligible would be 2028 or maybe even 2029. So you'll see them on schedules next year, but similar to when Westminster and St. Vincent and Geneva came in and they were transitioning from the NAIA, they're going to play, but those games won't count in the league standings until they have been cleared for active D3 membership.
So this is out of anybody's hands. It's not something that you're doing. This is the upper saying, hey, we're not allowing teams to move from 1 to 3 and 3 to 1 every year. It's not a haphazard thing. There's procedure you have to go through.
These are Division III rules, not PAC rules. Now, what we have said is that we will abide by what Division III says. So In other words, we told St. Francis when Division III membership committee says you're eligible for national championships, then you're eligible for PAC championships. And that way we're not making that decision. It's made at the highest level, but we'll be prepared for it along the way.
One of the things that's kind of been talked about a lot over the summer is what we have right here, a free broadcast of PAC football that everybody in the area can see, that you can join on the PAC Digital Network. You can see it. We are not under a paywall. I know the paywall seems to be closing in.
That's the big topic.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, the big topic in Division III, Flow Sports has acquired media rights for a number of Division III conferences. I can't remember what the number is. It's 7, 8, 9. In fact, one of the new ones this year is the OAC, the Ohio Athletic Conference that Marietta is in. So if you're a Marietta fan, you want to watch their games at home or anywhere in the OAC, you're going to have to pay for a subscription to Flow Sports, which is going to get you those games and all the others. And, yeah, we get asked all the time about it. I think right now, at least, I think myself, the presidents, the athletic directors, we're all of the same mind. It would take a enormous offer for us to consider doing that. We really have no interest in taking the great product that we have, promoting this conference, and putting it behind a paywall where only the most dedicated fans are going to see it, where you lose the parents, you lose the casual fans. I think one of the advantages we have is that the video production in our conference is so good. And it's you guys, it's Waynesburg, it's all these great student ones, but it's also the PAC Sports Network. It's the group doing production for the KDKA games out of Pittsburgh. So I just can't see a scenario where, again, I'd never say never, but they would have to really overwhelm us with an offer before we would consider that, just because I think it's a real advantage for us now having the digital network be free for everyone.
And it's something that we had as a conference way before anybody else.
Yeah,
so
it's
been big.
We were an early adopter. There's no doubt about that. And I think we could see, even back when Kevin, obviously Kevin's with you guys at Westminster now, him and I talking years ago, you could see the transition coming from what we call bundled cable to these OTT platforms, which is like Roku and Apple TV and Amazon Fire. And it's like, I mean, you could see it. So it's like, well, we can wait for it to happen, or we could get on the front end of the wave. And I think we did, and I think we've really benefited from that, quite frankly.
It's been nice. It's nice to be part of that. They do a great job of the PAC network. We enjoy doing our production.
Yeah.
We don't want to have to do it any differently, and we don't want anybody out there that's watching to have to pay for it. We're going to keep it the way that we have it now as long as we can. But I appreciate you, Joe, coming in to speak with us. I'm looking forward to to seeing you throughout the year. Before you go, just any last thought from the top of the conference and what you're thinking, what's going on here in the fall or ahead?
I'll just say this is a wonderful kickoff, what they've done here. I think the athletic department, led by Jason Lenner, setting up this Thursday night game, and you could see it with the alumni interest. I mean, I've seen some alumni I haven't seen in a long, long time here. I mean, this is a spotlight game, and it's a great game. Again, like I said, a rematch of the bowl game from last year. So I think, this is a great event. These are the type of student-athlete experience we want to provide. And I think you're going to see more and more of that as the PAC really becomes, what I think we already are, which is one of the really elite Division III conferences in the country.
3 teams in the national playoffs last year. That's
first
pretty
time
special.
ever.
That's pretty special.
Absolutely.
All right, Joe, thank you very much. When we come back, Tim Wonder's going to step into your chair. Tim made a huge call on this field in 1988 for a Westminster championship, and the viewers are going to get a chance to get a peek at that as well.
Fantastic.
Joe, thank you so much for coming in. We are at the half. It is 6-0 Marietta over Westminster. I'm Mark Slazak with Joe and Durko. Come back for more after this on your home of the Titans, WCN.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Dev's Books Market. Dev's Books Market, located at 3384 Perry Highway in Newcastle, offering gas, grocery, fresh deli favorites, propane refills, diesel, and so much more waiting for you. Open weekdays from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m., Saturdays from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sundays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Dev's Books Market, your one-stop shop in Newcastle. From books to bites to beyond.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Gilliland's Market, offering quality meats and groceries at 109 South Market Street in New Wilmington, Pennsylvania. Gilliland's Market, open Monday through Thursday, 9 to 5, Friday 9 to 6, and Saturday 9 to 3, closed on Sundays.
See, the summer of 1988 was one of the hottest on record, and the temperatures were still high when camp began. Even the first month of the regular season presented us with warm weather, which is not quite the best of times to be suited up in a football uniform and running laps. But you see, this team was special. This team knew that a championship season was possible, so they endured the elements. Then the playoffs came, and the cold weather came with it. And by the time Championship Saturday rolled around, the snow rolled into New Wilmington, which truly marked a season that went from fire to ice. This video relives those hot, humid days of September to that snowy day in December when heroes were made. Let's look back at that championship season that ended right here. Joe McKee, the quarterback. Jeff Hahn lines up on the left side. This is it. McKee, straight drop. Going into the end zone for Foley. It's up. Touchdown, Westminster! The Titans have won it! 7 seconds remaining! The Westminster Titans are the national champions!
And how about that? And with me right now, the author of that call, the guy that painted the picture right there on the radio, and you can see it on the video there, Tim Wonder. Welcome in, Tim. Welcome back to Westminster.
Thank you, Mark. You taught me everything I know.
I don't know if I taught you everything.
Well, you told me in 1987 that calling a game on radio was theater of the mind. And I believe I took that to heart and tried to paint the picture of what I was seeing so that I could tell people at home, and you do it better than anyone in the business.
Thank you so much. We had a chance to work together when you were at Westminster, so that just proves we're both old guys now. But it was great to be part of that, and I'm happy to be back and kind of try to mentor new people along the way this same way. And I appreciate those words, Tim. That's awesome. But when you think about that game was played right here, not in the beautiful turf facility, not in this beautiful press box like we have today, but in the snow, on the grass. And that was the last play of the game, and Westminster wins a national championship on the home field. And you had your ring there. I don't know if you poked that up there. That's good stuff of that time. And, what a moment as a broadcaster. And you were in the infancy of broadcasting. That was amazing. And the thing you told me earlier that just blew my mind, this is your next game. You're on the radio side right now with Ben. Since that day, I'm like, you know what? If I would have done that game, I might have just said, I'm done. I can't top this. I'm saying, how did it all feel that day?
It was long before the term mic drop. Yeah. But I literally was like, okay, how do you top this? I'm going to drop the mic and walk off into the sunset. But, my only concern about that call was that I said there's 7 seconds left to go in the game. Yeah. They still had to kick off, and they still had to, you never know the way that game was played. But in the snow, you had a feeling that with 7 seconds left, that thing was over.
No doubt. So a classic moment. I don't know if you've had a chance to get into the field house yet.
I did.
You did. You saw the mural on
I
the
got
wall?
the Dar Huey tour this afternoon.
Oh, even better. So you get the personal Dar tour.
It was a blessing to see him. I got to go into the locker room. I saw the additions of 7 or 8 additions to the field house, and the work that was done with the murals and the championship teams. And I love the fact that they brought the banners that we're hanging in the gym are down here where they belong.
Yeah.
It was nice to see them indoors, but they belong down here, and that was a nice addition as well.
Those banners along the fence here, recognizing the 6 national championships for a storied program. What are you doing today, nowadays?
Yeah, so for the last 32 years, I've been working for an insurance agents association outside of Harrisburg. Kind of counting down the days to when that won't be anymore, but living in Mechanicsburg with my wife, Connie, who was also an 89 graduate from Westminster. We have 2 kids. They're grown. They're out of the house. They're off my payroll. I couldn't be more proud of what they're doing. And it's just a pleasure to be invited to be back here on campus.
And you're doing some radio work on the color side with Ben Kelly today. And how's that going?
Gary told me that when I came back that it would be like riding a bike. I said that bike better have really big training wheels and a much larger seat. I don't think I've embarrassed myself at all, but I sort of pipe in when I can and hopefully add a little something to the color.
All right, so if you get enough of the TV side, I don't want you to go away, but you can listen a little bit on the side while you're watching us at the same time to maybe see if Tim does embarrass himself in the second half. If he does, we definitely will cut that tape up and share it across all our platforms.
Yeah,
because that's the kind of relationship
in 1988, if you weren't in town or somewhere past the cheese house or the other side of the lake, you didn't get reception on the radio. So it's a different world with this being the World Wide Web that everyone's listening tonight.
That's right.
Potential to
Get
listen.
your Titan Radio app out.
That's right.
I was sending Gary Titan Radio clips from Italy this summer, from Switzerland as well, all in the Titan Radio app. I'm glad you can get it, and I hope you watch a lot more of our games this year, Tim.
Absolutely. Been watching off and on. Usually Saturday afternoons, I'm cutting the grass.
Beautiful.
And I've got the headbuds in, the earbuds in, and I'm listening to the call of the game. So I've listened to Dr. Barner and Scooter and all those guys over the years be a part of Westminster Broadcasting.
Well, I really hope you get to hear me make a call like you got to do in the near future.
Well, let's hope it's tonight.
Well, I want a national championship.
All right.
I'd definitely go take a win tonight.
Well, we'll take
a win. The whole thing.
If you're going to get a national championship, you got to do it the way we did. Go 14-0.
All right, I'm okay with that.
I would be
okay
as well.
I hope it happens.
That's right.
Tim, thank you so much. It was
Thanks,
great
Mark.
seeing you again. Tim Wonder, class of '89, and the author of that big call in the national championship that you got to see. We'll take a break. Back with Jacob, back with Ethan when we get a moment, and with 3:14 a little still on our clock, I think we have time for everything. 6-0 Westminster at the half, trailing Marietta 6-0 on your home of the Titans, WCN.
Dear housemates, due to the environmental impact of food waste, I'm eating all your leftovers. You're welcome.
Ooh, what's this about?
I'm just doing my part for the environment. Is that Mima's punch bowl?
We use way too much plastic. Think of the planet.
Who is the best princess?
The environment is the best excuse. Find an out and opt in at theenvironmentexcuse.org.
At the half at Westminster, Mark Slazak along with now Ethan Kurtz. It's a revolving door at halftime. I had Joe Durko, I had Tim Wonder, now I get Ethan up here. Ethan's going to be our sideline reporter throughout the year. We still have a couple things to work out before we get that live on the air, but we'll get that worked out soon enough. But Ethan, you had a chance to talk to Scott Benzel on the way off the field. What do you have to say?
Yeah, Coach Benzel a little frustrated with the play offensively in this one, Mark. He thinks that they're trying too hard for those big plays right now and wants to see more of a fundamental, get a first down, put your nose down, make a play, and then they can score some points.
When we look at the first half, really dominated by Marietta.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that we both talked about at halftime was how much the defense was on the field. A lot of players starting to get fatigued. You saw Lawrence Casanzale go out with an injury, a lot of guys banged up. I thought A.J. Bird really impressed me in that first half, as well as Ricky Cooper, both making some big hits, and that's something that Coach Benzel wants to see a lot more of, is some really hard hits, especially on Antoine Johnson. He's like to get out of the pocket a little bit if they keep putting some pressure on him, and can also limit Vontae Hodges, who has 20 carries, nearly 100 yards in this one. They'll have a much more successful half.
You mentioned a couple of defensive guys. Dylan Sleva, 12 tackles in the first half as well, off to one of his career days. All right, thank you for jumping in. We got the second half coming up next, so stay with us. Westminster trailing Marietta 6-0 at the half. Second half coming your way in just a moment on your home of the Titans, WCN.
As we know, the Titan football team found success last year wearing their old all-white uniforms. This year, as they gear up to embark on their journey to a PAC title, they'll be doing it in style with new all-white armor. I was able to catch up with Westminster's equipment manager, Sam DeVito, to get his thoughts on the Titans' new look for the 2025 season.
Every so many years, every sport, not just football, but every sport, 3 to 4 years, we get new uniforms. Football, if you would go back to last year's uniforms, they were from 2018. They were starting to.
Thank you, Sam, giving us an update on brand new uniform for Westminster. Jacob Rhodes back in the chair beside me, and Jake, you can share some of those first half numbers. We get some of those on the screen as well.
Yeah, of course. The thing that's really sticking out, those rushing yards for, over 100-yard discrepancy, 140 for Marietta, 32 for the Westminster Titans. Passing yards, though, Westminster has them 81 to 51 by the time of possession, 19:07 to 10:53 in that first half.
So Quentin Sheets is set to kick off. Westminster will start with the football here in the second half. They have not had good field position on returns thus far. This one's going to be high, and it's going to be Bright Cannon from the 7. Cannon, 10, 15, and he's in open field, 20, 25, 30. Oh, he's on the run across midfield. One man to beat to the 40 and banged out of bounds by the kicker. And Bright Cannon electrifies the crowd with a big kickoff return to start the second half.
You see what happens when the kid puts the ball in his hands and starts running with it. Coach Benz will put him under his shoulder and said, put the ball in your hands, make electric plays like he did. First play of the second half sets the tone for Westminster well into Marietta territory.
Yeah, the replay here is Bright bounces it to the outside, and just the punter, the kicker with an angle, stopped this from being another touchdown. 60 yards on the return for Bright Cannon, and gives the Titans great field position with Ty McGowan, the quarterback, Clayton Cannon, the back behind him. Two receivers, right, Beachy in the slot right. 1st and 10 from the 33. McGowan looks left, steps up, and now runs and slides across the 30. Got hit on the slide, the flag comes in. And now a little pushing and shoving after the play as Harley Hopkins, who's not afraid to give you a shot, and he may have been the one that hit McGowan after the play, after the slide.
Not playing a single organized snap of football and only been watching from the TV. I know you got to protect your guys there, but a penalty there, you got to think with your head, be smart.
Terry Swagger, our referee, the white cap. Let's hear what he has to say.
Personal foul, late hit on the defense, number 10. That penalty will be half the distance to the goal. First down.
So first down for McGowan on the run, and down to the 24-yard line, I think, where he was, and then we'll go half the distance, so it should have put us about the 12, 13-yard line. And that's where the Titans now go 1st and 10, trying to get on the board, trailing 6-0. Mark Slazak along with Jacob Rhodes here on WCN. Titans send a couple receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Slot right is Cannon. Now it's 5 wide. Here comes Cannon in motion. Sean O'Shea will stay at quarterback. He'll run and struggle forward. O'Shea, the Wildcat quarterback, will run it for a couple of yards up the middle. Titans like to use O'Shea when they want to run the quarterback draws.
Yeah, I was going to say, kind of a change of pace quarterback, not a term you really hear too often, but O'Shea definitely has the legs on McGowan. But as a gunslinger, Ty's got him in that department, to say the least.
So got one officially, 2nd down and 9. A 6-0 lead for Marietta. Titans trying to get on the board. Christian Bailey is to the left. Grayson and Beachy are to the right. Koval tight at right end. And McGowan fakes left, rolls right, fires, end zone. Hey, it's caught for a touchdown! A toe tap touchdown by the magician, Tate Beachy, with the score. Touchdown, Titans.
Great throw there by McGowan, finding his high school teammate and his favorite target thus far at Westminster College. Ty took a shot there on that play, though, Mark, finding Tate Beachy in that right corner of the end zone. Definitely a little shaken up, though,
yeah,
after that
McGowan
hit.
took a big hit after the throw. The lefty quarterback rolling to his right. And we've seen it for years now. The moon connection and the toe tap touchdown ability of Tate Beachy. Corona has a bad snap. Sanson rolls, fires for the end zone. I think it's caught. It's going to be a 2-point conversion. Craig Sanson throws it up for grabs, and Nate Wadsworth, the tight end, and blocking, pulls it in for a big 2-point conversion. And what looked like it was going to be a tie game, the Titans lead.
Oh my goodness, bad snap turns into 2 points for Westminster. Sanson fights off the tackling Pioneer, throws it up, Wadsworth finds it. And just like that, Westminster up 8-6. Only a minute 23 left, or into this third quarter, my apologies.
How about this? After each touchdown, the punter attempts a pass. The Marietta punter could not complete his. The Westminster punter threw up the Hail Mary, and his prayer was answered.
Yeah, I can't say that was exactly what I expected from that extra point attempt. We see in front of us here, Ty McGowan getting checked out possibly for a concussion by Misty Motter here.
They're doing the concussion type test to see if he's okay. Took a big hit. Coach Benzel there with him as well, talking to him. But the Titan touchdown, Westminster on the board. Now an 8-6 lead over Marietta.
Yeah, no love lost between these two teams, especially that linebacking core in McGowan. Not afraid to lay a shoulder or a helmet into Westminster signal caller.
Yeah, the low snap. Sanson couldn't get it set, but able to complete his first pass as a Titan, and it's a touchdown. Here's Karana to kick off. Hodges will bobble it at about the 5-yard line, gets a head of steam up the middle, and gets pulled down across the 25-yard line. Take a look at the defense for Westminster.
Look at the defense for the Titans. Jean Gary Joseph, Sonny Casanzale kind of having that elbow injury in the first half. We'll see what his availability is for the second half. Mason Manos, Wes Donner, the linebacking core of Dylan Sleva, A.J. Bird, and Aiden Fletcher. The DBs including Lamont Austin, Ricky Cooper, Devin Mila, and Bright Cannon. DeAndre Charles getting some burn in the first half. Solomon Davis, Alex Garcia, Jordan Gore. Revolving door for this defensive front so far for Westminster.
Trying to keep them fresh, especially after a couple of really long drives. 1st and 10, Johnson throws it into the flat, it's intercepted! Oh, he dropped it, couldn't hang on, nearly intercepted. DeAndre Charles, who you just mentioned, getting some run, stepped in front and had the ball. I don't know if we have a replay or not. If we look at it, we can see if maybe he peeked ahead to see if he had a pick six, but he made a nice reaction on the ball, and the freshman causes the incompletion.
Yeah, it could have been just a little bit too much excitement there. Saw a ball right in front of him, saw that end zone, that navy blue end zone. It might have just jumped the gun there. Nearly had a big play for the Titans.
Johnson, the quarterback, will hand to Hodges. Hodges up the middle for a short gain, pulled down short of the 30. You mentioned about Casanzale. He was on the field for that extra point attempt. He's out there now, and now he has both elbows wrapped. He came in with a sore right elbow and now has the left elbow wrapped as well.
Yeah, knowing Sonny, definitely not the guy who's going to sit out with any injury, especially for this team with the impact he had last year. And I've talked about it in the first half, but high praise from Coach Benzel and his staff of the sophomore.
You know, player down for Marietta. And as they check out that, gives us a chance to talk a little bit about Westminster.
Absolutely. Homecoming is right around the corner. Westminster's Homecoming 2025 registration is now open. Events include campus tours, kids activities, class reunions, an escape room, and, of course, the big game and the crowning of the King and Queen, October 11th versus Teal. Also, so much more. Visit westminster.edu/alumni today for full details.
13:09 on our clock here in the third quarter. And the injured player up and off, holding the wrist. And we're back to action. It may have been Peyton Newman, the tight end, that came off. But going to be third down here, 3rd and 7 from the 30. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far side. Antoine Johnson, the quarterback, has Hodges to his right. Johnson back to pass, looks, fires, passes. I think it's caught at the 40. That'll be a first down. Making the play is Kenyon Franklin, who found an opening, sat down and made the catch right at the 40-yard line for the big first down.
Yeah, close play there. Cannon and Franklin kind of battling for that one. Good timing on the throw by Johnson. Good route by Franklin on the curl route. Get that first down to keep this Marietta drive going.
Adams, Curry, Fox Rhodes, and Shield Watcher providing the protection. Here's Johnson, fake throw, now fires it out of bounds. Boy, a lot of pressure coming as Manis and Donner created heat, and Johnson quickly threw it away.
Yeah, West Donner in fast pursuit there. Sprints there, going to take a little breather on the sideline. Kazanzale and Donner coming off for Anderson.
You talked about, new offensive and defensive coordinators for Marietta, so Westminster didn't know a lot of what Marietta might do. And the Titans now trying to make adjustments here in the second half. They've already got a touchdown on the board. Here's a handoff up the middle. And this is going to be a good run. And outside is Hodges getting a first down into Titan territory. And he's banged out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. He had a big first half, did Hodges, and he continues that good work.
Yeah, he just turns on a second gear, nearly 100 yards in that first half, had a touchdown, 20 carries, the workhorse easily for the Pioneers, and continuing that in the second half.
Yeah, over 100 yards now. Here's a quick throw, right side caught, and it's a short yardage gain as they flip it out to Goodnow on that right wing.
A lot of runs, a lot of quick passes. A few times Johnson's dropped back, 5-7-step drop back and let one fly, but for the most part, working near the line of scrimmage and taking these small gains while they can get them.
Second down and 6, 11:45 to go third quarter. Westminster with an 8-6 lead. Two backs in the set, handoff Hodges up the middle. Casanzale grabs him around the waist, pulls him down just short, I believe, of the first down.
Titan helmet comes off in the scrum there. I believe it was Aiden Fletcher's. My apologies, Casanzale.
He will come out. Jordan Gore will replace him. Third down and short, just short of the first down marker, which is at about the 30.5-yard line. Hodges to the left of Johnson. The hand to Hodges up the middle, first down and a bit more. As he continues to push the pile, he's across the 25 and down to the 24.
Great running between the tackles for Hodges. A lot of counters, a lot of power plays, showing that vision and that speed. Once he gets past that first Westminster level, he's kind of turning into a second gear. That's where a lot of those big runs can come from, averaging over 5 yards a carry, nearly 5 yards a carry.
Here's Johnson back to pass, looks, loads, fires, and it's juggled and caught on the far side. Franklin holds on, and he has a first down again to move the chains down near the 10.
Moving and grooving are the Marietta Pioneers on offense. A few more passes than I saw in the first half. But love those curl routes on the outside. Benny Lewis now in.
So Lewis wearing number 1 in the blue Marietta jersey. First down and 10. And the chains will drop, so put the tip of the ball right at the 10. We'll call it first and goal from the 10. Lewis comes in motion, fake handoff, a Johnson keeper going laterally, then takes it up the field and down near the 6-yard line. You go back early in this drive, Jacob, and Titans had a chance. Charles had a chance at an interception, which really could have been huge, but this Marietta team taking full advantage of second life on this drive.
Yeah, kind of turning, switching gears here. You talked about in the pregame, multiple quarterbacks possibly. Johnson been the guy thus far through the third quarter for Coach Kaufman and his squad.
Two receivers right, one left. Again, Lewis is the back. Johnson takes the snap on second and goal, hands to Lewis, trying to run outside. He cut back at the 5 and ripped down. Pulled down at about the 3-yard line.
Gene Gary Gosef checks back in for Westminster. Casanzale comes off, kind of limiting his snaps, it seems like. Defensive coordinator Jared Heck watching the health of one of his star defensive linemen.
Sleva there among the tacklers, 15 tackles through 3 quarters for Sleva. Third down and goal, 3-yard line. Two receivers right, two left. Lewis now will motion, so it's an empty set for Johnson. Takes the snap. Johnson wants a quarterback draw, runs to his right, gets hit and slides in though. Nice little back cut move and backs into the end zone for the 3-yard touchdown.
Yeah, Johnson finding a hole. Had in the back of my mind, went into the empty, thought a quarterback draw could have been on the menu. Correct there, showing the vision. Did Johnson cutting to the right side, fighting into the end zone for that touchdown. 13-8 pending an extra point or a 2-point conversion. Maybe two-point conversion. Looks like the offense is going to stay out there.
Still out there. They did not convert the extra point the first time. They went for a fake, and the holder / punter, Quentin Sheets. Actually, the kickoff guy. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Johnson trying for the 2-point conversion. Takes the snap, fires left, pass caught with a drop on a nice defensive play by Lamont Austin. And Lamont able to stop the 2-point conversion, but Marietta still now on top by a score of 12-8.
Yeah, 12-8, kind of a weird score, a scoregami, so to say. You don't see too many football games at 12-8, at least the way that we got here.
With 8:53 to go in the third quarter, it's now Marietta 12, Westminster 8. We'll take a quick break, back with more in a moment on your home of the Titans, WCN.
Dear housemates, due to the environmental impact of food waste, I'm eating all your leftovers. You're welcome.
Ooh, what's this about?
I'm just doing my part for the environment. Is that Mima's punch bowl?
We use way too much plastic. Think of the planet.
Who is the best princess?
The environment is the best excuse. Find an out and opt in at theenvironmentexcuse.org.
Back here, the drive ends on an Antoine Johnson 3-yard touchdown run. 2-point conversion fails. A 12-8 lead for Marietta over Westminster. And the kickoff is high and short. Going to drop in no man's land, and finally grabbed by a Titan at about the 23-yard line.
Waiting to see how this Westminster offense answers after a good Marietta drive. Westminster came out and scored within the first minute and a half of the third quarter. Great return from Bright Cannon and well into Marietta territory, and ends with a Tate Beachy touchdown.
Yeah, Demir White ends up making that grab. It's kind of a I got it, you take it moment for the Titans, and that's a live ball, but finally grabbed by the Titans at the 23. And Ty McGowan, who took a big shot on the touchdown pass to Tate Beachy, returns at quarterback. 2 receivers and a tight end to the right, 1 to the left. Koval will move to the left side. And McGowan back to pass. Rolls left now, runs up the middle, and then slides down. Again, takes a hit as he's into the slide. This time no flag. And McGowan gets about 5 on the play.
Yeah, these linebackers definitely not scared to hit McGowan on the way down. Got a flag for it earlier, and a few big hits on number 6 for Westminster.
It was a 13-play, 73-yard drive for Marietta, who's had 3 double-digit drives in this game. 3 receivers will bunch to the far side on second down and about 6 from the 27. Handoff up the middle. And that's Clayton Cannon. He's out to about the 30-yard line. Cannon dropped there. It'll be a third and manageable for the Titans.
Yeah, noticing on the run plays, Marietta really converging on the run plays, like I said. So play action maybe could work for the Westminster. They had a few empty boots, some rollouts from McGowan that have had success. And, 7 or 8 guys from Marietta all crashing into the box once they see Cannon possibly get the ball.
So a big play here for the Titans, now trailing 12-8. 2 receivers will go to the right side in Beachy and Grayson. 1 receiver left. Snap to McGowan, looking left, and now fires it back to the right. It's incomplete. Thought about Beachy, but a lot of pressure, and basically threw it into the turf in a punting situation for the Titans.
Yeah, 4th punt for Westminster tonight, but Sanson been elite with the legs so far. Craig the legs, so to say. Jackson Koval, haven't had enough good things to say about that kid. The freshman making a great impact at the long snapping position.
Snap to Sanson, and he will kick it. Another booming, spiraling punt. Fair catch called for and made at the 31. And again, you saw 21, Jackson Koval. down the field. Snap and sprint is his job, and he forces the fair catch.
Yeah, I mean, listed as a running back, you know, highly touted coming in, possibly contributing to the backfield later in the season. Just a freshman, of course, but making his presence known. And coaches definitely notice little things like that. You know your role and you do it well, you'll get more opportunities.
Big career for Titusville in District 10 for Koval. Very good baseball player as well. So first down and 10 for Johnson, the quarterback, and the offense of Marietta, who've done the bulk of their damage on the ground with Fonte Hodges. Here's the snap, quick throw, and the swing pass to Hodges, and Hodges would be ripped down as he crosses the 30-yard line and out to about the 35.
Yeah, good fight there from Aiden Fletcher, I believe, getting off that block and making a tackle on Hodges. Not the first swing pass we've seen to the Pioneer star running back, but Benny Lewis now in the game for Marietta. A few new names out there for Westminster.
Craig Sonson last year averaged about 35 yards a kick, close to 40 in this game. 2nd and 6. They'll hand to Lewis with a cutback across the 35 and pulled down at about the 38-yard line, setting up 3rd down. Picked up a couple on the play.
Westminster doing a pretty good job thus far in this drive, limiting the plays of Marietta. 3rd and 5, 6:24 remain in this third quarter. 12-8 lead. Pioneers up into Wilmington.
Bryce Cannon checks back into the game. He'll be at right corner on 3rd down and 4 from the 38. .607 on the third quarter clock. Snap to Johnson. Looks, fires right side. Pass caught. And good for a first down. Up to catch it, and then immediately down was Kenyon Franklin.
Yeah, not the first curl route they've thrown to get a first down. Loving those out-breaking routes. As a cornerback, you can't really jump those unless you really, really need to. You know, flashbacks to Lamont Austin last year against Case Western. Lamont in coverage. Can't jump those and risk a long ball. Really tough route to defend in man coverage.
Mason Palich now seeing some time at linebacker for Westminster on this series. First down, hand to Lewis, and a short yardage gain up the middle. Thinking back to the bowl game a year ago, and it was this kind of same battle, but the Titans were able to come up with some big special teams plays. They blocked a punt for a touchdown, and then defensively able to get a pick six for a score. It kind of feels like it's that same kind of game where you need the special teams or the defense to come up big.
Yeah, going to be a big play from one of these defenses to break this game wide open sooner rather than later.
2nd down and 8, 3 receivers to the near side. Lewis, the running back, now moves to his right. They'll hand to Lewis, and Lewis gets hit by Palich, and then will break a bit of the tackle before he's swallowed up by more Titans after a gain of just a yard, but Mason Palich met Lewis in the hole.
Yeah, taking advantage of his time right now. Palich blitzing right into that backfield for a gain of about maybe 2 or 3.
A.J. Bird, who was in on a lot of plays in the first half, is not in there right now. Palich in his spot. Walt Phillips now comes in as an extra corner on 3rd down and 6. Snap to Johnson, looks right, fires in the flat, pass caught, and trying to struggle for the first down, but not getting there was Franklin. Kenyon Franklin, the 6', 200-pounder, gets it close, but does not get the first down, and now it's decision time here for Coach Kaufman and Marietta. They went for it earlier in the game on a 4th and 1. Looks like they're going to do it again.
Yeah, heavy set for Westminster, trying to get more physicality in there. Palich, now Jordan Gore in there, Aiden Fletcher dropping back to 4 DBs. Pressing up near that line of scrimmage.
4th and 1, hand to Lewis, and he's caught behind the line of scrimmage and pulled down. It's short, and the Titans will take the football. A turnover on downs. Big defensive play.
One of those big plays I mentioned the defenses need to make. Westminster gets a huge 4th down stop, getting the offense near the 50-yard line, almost in Marietta territory already. Huge play from the defense. We'll see it here on replay. Tries to bounce outside. Aiden Fletcher from the weak side chases him down and gets the stop for Westminster. The sophomore making big plays.
Fletcher had a career game in the bowl game. 7 tackles, 2.5 tackles for a loss against Marietta a year ago. A huge play right there to get the Titan offense back on the field with great field position, trailing 12-8 with 3:34 to go in the third.
Tight set now for Westminster. Bright Cannon basically on the line of scrimmage.
He's split to that left side, and it's a little reverse to Cannon. He's coming near side. 45 with the cut back to the 50, and bang down as he gets into Marietta territory.
Talk about
to get the ball in his hands.
Absolutely. Got to get the ball in his hands as many ways you can. Jet sweeps, reverses, screen passes. He can make something happen with the ball, even if there's 4 or 5 defenders in front of him.
A little jet sweep that time for Cannon. You mentioned the tight formation. Cannon was the only man on the outside, so able to make one cool move here on the outside and cut back. And then takes a shot, but a gain of about 4.
Yeah, very
Second
cool.
down and 6.
Very cool gain of 4 yards there.
2 receivers left. Cannon out wide to the right. Wadsworth now switches into the backfield with McGowan in the shotgun. And a delay handoff to Cannon Jr. near side. And Clayton Cannon is going to push the pile and work his way down to about the 47-yard line. Picks up a couple. Running backs last year, kind of a stacked room. Ryan Gomes and everything back for several years. And you had Gavin Greaves, you had Elijah Grayer, you had Collins last year. You had a bunch of guys. Some, for various reasons, not here anymore. Gomes graduated. And now it's Clayton Cannon Jr. getting an opportunity. Demir White, both guys carried the ball a bit last year. And Coach Benzel has actually moved into that room as the running back coach this year. 3rd down and 4 from the 47. 2 receivers right, 1 left. McGowan back to pass. He looks, he slings it into traffic, and it's incomplete. Kind of squirted through the hands of Demir White, kind of a sidearm fastball, and White could not hold on. And what looks like a punt situation for the Titans, but I do not see Craig Sonson going out there. I see Sean O'Shea. This is the spider formation the Titans will use. And they use a lot of backs. Tate Beachy is out there as well. Bright Cannon joins the formation. O'Shea could punt it here, or he could throw it on 4th and 4.
Can't game plan for this one. You just got to.
And he does kick it, and it's a nice spiraling kick that will bounce in the Titans' favor for a few yards and be down at about the 12-yard line. So Sean O'Shea with that punt, and a good one, as the Titans went to what they've called that spider formation. We've seen that for the last few years on kind of those, do we want to punt, do we want to run? And if the formation is favorable, then Sean O'Shea has that option to throw the football or even run, but he chose to punt. And they're going to back up Marietta back to the 13-yard line.
Yeah, absolutely. Jared Heck, special teams coordinator, definitely throws a wrench in some teams' plans, throwing Sean O'Shea out there, but you just saw he's got the leg to perform those shorter field punts if need be.
1:50 to go on the third. And Johnson will throw, and Hodges makes a one-handed catch on the far side and breaks a tackle and looks like he's going to get a first down. Boy, they look like they had him down, and somehow squirts through and picks up a first down on the far side on a heck of a catch and run for Hodges.
Yeah, tightrope act on that far side from Hodges. Looked like he was down around the line of scrimmage and somehow squirts out and gets a first down out of it. Making something out of nothing there.
Marietta's scoring drive in the first quarter was 15 plays, 75 yards. You see that tightrope act. Boy, they thought he was down. He used his hand to keep it up. Here's Hodges now running to the near side, and he'll get swallowed up short of the 30-yard line for a short gain. Going back to the point here, the 2 drives for touchdowns, 15 plays, 75 yards in the first quarter, 13 plays, 73 yards here in the third. So long, methodical drives have been the recipe for success for Marietta.
Yeah, Westminster, their lone scoring drive happened very, very quickly. 1:23 into that third quarter. Marietta taking time and chunks off the board.
55 seconds ago here in the third. Marietta leads 12-8. Hodges will motion back into the backfield. 3 receivers in the set. The hand to Hodges, and Hodges going to get swallowed up right around the 30-yard line. Here's a point, something to think about. When you think about the defensive side, and you think about the defense has been out there a lot, You think of the offensive side, they've been out there a lot too, and Hodges has carried the ball quite a bit.
Yeah, showing the conditioning, Fonte Hodges for sure. They have the change of pace back, and Benny Lewis been out there for about 6 or 7 carries tonight, but Hodges, if not already there, nearing 30 carries in the night.
They're going to let it run here on 3rd down and 6. Give us a chance to talk about Westminster.
Absolutely. A new economic impact study estimates Westminster College's annual contribution to the Pennsylvania economy is $87.7 million and 754 jobs. The research was conducted by Parker Strategy Group, a nationally recognized research firm specializing in economic impact analysis. The report also estimates that Westminster College generates approximately $6.8 million in annual tax revenue for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and local governments, including sales, property, personal income, and corporate income taxes. Westminster is proud to be a vital economic driver for the community and the Commonwealth. You see numbers like that, $87.7 million, nearly 800 jobs. I mean, that's crazy.
Awesome work. Official end of the 3rd quarter. A 12-8 lead for Marietta over Westminster. Take a quick timeout and back with more in a moment on your home of the Titans, WCN.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Pizza Joe's in New Wilmington, offering pizza, stromboli, and calzone.
Mark Slazak, Jacob Rhodes, Ethan Kurtz back with you. Take a look at some 3rd quarter stats here in a moment. Westminster trailing Marietta by a score of 12-8. Marietta 3rd and 6 from their 31. And it's Johnson back to pass. Rolling left, looks, fires, pass. In traffic is caught for a 1st down. A juggling catch made in the middle of the field. And that will be a 1st down. I heard a late whistle, so I thought, well, maybe there's something else. But a 1st down catch. It was John Serpatowski able to make the play.
Zip that one in there like a fastball. My goodness, I mean, rolling left, right-handed quarterback throws it like kind of across his body, zips a fastball in there. Now Dylan Sleva being asked to walk off for one play. A.J. Bird back into the linebacking core for this 4th quarter.
So from the 44-yard line, big 1st down on the pass for Johnson. Now 14 of 23 for 108 yards. Hodges the back, 26 carries for 129 and a touchdown. 2 receivers now, 3 to the right. Fake handoff, pass into the flat, caught. Immediately hitting the ground, though, was Lewis Goodnow. Short gain of about 2 yards.
Yeah, he knew what was better for him there. Goodnow listed at 5'9", 175. Aiden Fletcher, 6 foot 200, flying like a speeding bullet there into the flats.
So a gain of 2 for 14 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Here in the 4th. Marietta with a football and a 4-point lead. Receivers wide to each side. And the handoff to Hodges. And Hodges going to push forward to about the 48. And we saw Palich on a blitz that time. Actually went through his tackle spot on the far side with the blitz. Came all the way around behind to get a piece of Hodges and grab on. Setting up, which is now 3rd down and 7. Sleva back on the field for the Titans as well.
Westminster really trying to get more beef, so to say, out there. Putting the bigger linebackers like Palich and Walt Phillips out there at cornerback. Trying to stop this run game for Marietta.
Big 3rd down and 7 from their own 47. Johnson drops back into the shotgun. Motion behind him is Hodges. Johnson back to pass, fires quickly, pass juggled and incomplete. Intended on that outside edge for Chris Taylor. And Taylor juggled it for a moment, could not hang on. 4th down in a punting situation for the Pioneers. And again, an opportunity for Westminster to come up with one of those special teams, special plays.
I mean, something's got to push, something's got to break here. These two teams have been pretty much locked for most of the game. Big plays, long drives.
Bright Cannon deep. Bailey set to punt. Titans load the line of scrimmage with 10. Bailey takes a snap. Pressure comes, and he gets the kick away. And Cannon will let it go on a high hop as it's covered down at the 10-yard line by Jarek Braglin. They had pressure off that would have been the punter's left side, and the punter wisely caught the ball and rolled to his right where he had that protection, because the Titans had 3 white jerseys coming quickly after Bailey. But good special teams play by Marietta. Let's talk a little Westminster.
Absolutely. The Foster Art Gallery, Yoko Ono Passages and Wishes, will be on view at the Westminster College Foster's Art Gallery from September 1st to October 24th, curated by Kevin Concannon and John Noga. The exhibition invites visitors to a deeply personal and participatory experience with Ono's powerful message of peace, imagination, and action. Free to the public, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays.
1st and 10 from the 10 for the Titans. And McGowan. Back to pass, looks, loads, deep over the middle, intended for Cannon. Boy, there was contact at about the 45 and took him just off his stride, or it would have been a big play over the middle of the field for Bright Cannon.
Yeah, got to determine that one.
On the offense, number 77.
Titans, though, called for a hold. Center.
That penalty is declined. 2nd down.
It'll be 2nd down and 10. Interesting there with the ball at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, I figured you'd back it up, maybe force a safety, get this game back to a full 6-point lead, but Marietta likes their chances with less downs.
They've been happy with their defensive performance, giving up just the one short field touchdown drive. Titans backs against the wall, 2nd and 10 from the 10. Grayson comes in motion to the left. And McGowan is going to hand off, an inside handoff. Clayton Cannon and nowhere to go. He's going to lose yardage on the run.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they ended up getting that yardage from the holding penalty back and a loss of down now.
Titans just 53 net yards rushing in this game. Cannon with 25 yards leads the backs. Ty McGowan, the second leading rusher, with 24. So they've struggled to do anything on the ground through the air. McGowan 7 of 16 for 93. It's been a tough offensive game for the Titans. 3rd down and 12 from their own 8-yard line. McGowan will take a shotgun snap from the 2. And he'll roll left, and he'll fire it. Jameer White with a catch at the 10. Skips out to the 15-yard line. Short of the 1st down on the completion, but at least out of the shadow of the end zone. Titans have tried to throw the ball to the backs a few times. That time they were able to complete one.
4th and 5.
And it's 4th down and 5. Craig Sanson Jr. on to punt. He stands at the goal line. Returner good now was at midfield. High spinning end over end kick. It will take a Titan bounce and go out of bounds around midfield. We'll see where the officials will mark it. Look like they're going to mark it on the Titan side of the field. So a short field here for Marietta as they'll start this drive. 1st and 10 in Titan territory. Going to set the football at the 47-yard line.
Yeah, Westminster has not been able to take advantage of Marietta's shortcomings on offense, and there hasn't been many in the whole game. Long drives, had the ball for a lot, but the few times Marietta has had to punt or lost on a turnover of downs, Westminster has not capitalized. Only out of the halftime kickoff has the offense looked how the Titans wanted to.
So Antoine Johnson at quarterback. It's been a heavy dose of Vontae Hodges, and they will give to Hodges. He'll run to the right side. He'll get hit at the 45, but he'll push the pile down to the 43.
He's a smaller back height-wise, but 5'9", 200 pounds. He's really good, got great vision, good patience, find those holes where it looks like there's nothing, turns into Houdini and finds a gain of 4 or 5.
Vontae Hodges, a 700-yard back a year ago with 8 touchdowns, 5'9", 200, the senior. split time pretty evenly last year. That's why he maybe didn't have 1,000 yards or more. He shared the ball a lot more than he has tonight. Second down and 5. 10 minutes, 29 seconds to go in the fourth. Handoff up the middle, Hodges. Hodges runs into resistance at around the 40-yard line, but again, spins forward, falls forward, and gets a first down.
Yeah, running like a bowling ball for the most part, always falling forward. Not many losses on the carries for Hodges today. Saw in the top left corner, 44-7, Heidelberg still all over Hiram in that third quarter. More pack action tomorrow and on Saturday. Got a full slate of
Hodges now up to 135 yards. First and 10 from the Westminster 37. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Hodges to the left of Johnson. Again, it's Hodges up the middle. Grabbed at the line of scrimmage and then pulled down as he reaches the 34-yard line.
Thing is, Westminster's defensive front has not had a bad push. They've had a good push on pass plays especially, but Hodges keeps finding holes and getting into that second level, making the linebackers work. You talked about Sleva, over 15 tackles in this game. Get the official number when we get a chance, but a workhorse today in the tackling department nonetheless.
Sleva, 20 tackles.
Wow.
So far in this one. Second and 7, 34-yard line of Westminster. And the handoff again will go to Hodges. First down, running more. Hodges inside the 30 and breaks it down to about the 24-yard line, maybe the 23, and the chains move.
Not the game that Westminster wants to play right now. Long, grueling drives for this defense, taking chunks of time off the clock. 8:43 and counting in this fourth quarter. Westminster got to get a stop here and wake the offense up.
Clock continues to move here in the fourth. 4-point Marietta lead. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Handoff, Hodges. A cut back through a hole. Hodges makes a man miss, and another still doesn't go down. Then Hodges pushes down inside the red zone as he is down to the 15-yard line, picked up about another 9 on the play.
I mean, I don't want to be a broken record, but he just keeps finding holes. It looks like he's running into the back of his lineman, slips through to that second level and makes these DBs tackle and get physical. And he's going to win that battle a lot of the time, 5'9", 200, low center of gravity.
Maybe the best thing we saw on that picture was Hodges touching his helmet, saying, "I need a break." And he comes off the field.
Yeah, that's the kind of back that Coach Kaufman has. When he wants a break, he'll get a break. Benny Lewis come in and replicate the production for the most part.
Second down and about 2. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And it'll be a handoff to Lewis. Lewis will bounce it outside, cut back at the 10, and pushes down inside the 5, and working his way down to about the 3-yard line. Another first down as Lewis is able to bounce it to the outside. Benny Lewis, 5'7", 183, shows a little bit more quickness.
Absolutely. Changing pace back, kind of thunder and lightning for Marietta for the most part. Lewis has been doing a great job when Hodges needs that little breather.
It'll be first and goal from the 3. Lewis will stay in there as the back. He'll be to the left of the quarterback, Antoine Johnson. Johnson, the junior, making his first start. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Handoff Lewis, working right side. Nowhere to go. Fletcher and others. Yeah, he's still working. Gore will finish him off. Took him the longest time to get him to the ground. They met him in the hole back at the 6-yard line, but able to work his way at least on his feet laterally before being pulled down at the 6, but a loss of 3 on the play.
Yeah, I mentioned the low center of gravity with Hodges, but Benny Lewis even more so, 5'7", 183, real thickly built back, but has that speed and burst. Not saying Hodges doesn't, but Lewis has more speed and burst for that change of pace back. Maybe can't get those 25 carries a game like Hodges can, but can make an impact.
Yeah, Costanzali, Sleva there on the tackle, second and goal from the 6. 1 receiver right, 2 left. Handoff Lewis up the middle, 3-2, and we'll call it a 2. Boy, it looked like he was going to dive one more, but to the 2, and he's down. Submarine at the last moment by the Titans. Westminster keeps him out of the end zone.
Gets down to the 3 or the 2-yard line, and Vontae Hodges trots back out there. He says, I'm good now. We're near the end zone.
Hodges already has a 1-yard touchdown in this one. Quarterback Antoine Johnson has the other 3-yard touchdown run. Johnson will be in a shotgun. Hodges on his left. 3rd and goal from the 3. Timeout, Westminster.
Timeout, Westminster. Their first timeout of the half.
5:27 to go in this one. A big 3rd and 3 play. Westminster talking it over situation-wise. If you hold them to a field goal here, even successful, you're still 1 score down. You try to get him to not score at all, and that would be the best case scenario. But now looking at a decision, 3rd down and goal from the 3, and Hodges has come back in.
Absolutely. Here on WCN and all these other streaming services for Titan Football Today. But if you get sick of Mark and I, head on over to the radio app to listen to Ben Kelly and Tim Wonder on the free Titan Radio mobile app today, and listen to Titan Radio anywhere you can take your mobile phone or device. It's loaded with new features and simply just works. No account or login hassles. Just search for Titan Radio on the Apple or Android store. Download it for free and open the app. It's just that easy. Talking about radio, talking about podcasts, talking about interviews, Sports Minute updates. We've got Entertainment Report, Wholecad Weekly Report, DJ shifts, just to name a few things, Mark. I mean, it's endless.
And, of course, this live video. All right, big play here. 3rd down and goal from the 3. Hodges is the back. And now Johnson goes under center. And Johnson turns, hands to Hodges, gets hit at the line of scrimmage, and driven back. Ball comes out late, and looks like Johnson will get it back at the 10-yard line. A flag comes in late. It was nearly a takeaway for the Titans. Dylan Sleva had a shot at the football. And now Johnson a little bit slow to get up. Let's see what the flag is. Flag sitting just outside the 10-yard line. Let's listen in.
Personal foul on the offense, number 67. That's a dead ball foul after the play. It'll be 15-yard penalty, still 4th down.
So 4th and goal. They don't get it. They lose yardage. You can see, I think it was Palich that helped pop that ball out. And Sleva had a shot at it. And then you see late some shoving. One of the offensive linemen of Marietta, I think it was Ben Morris. And now the ball, it's going to be a field goal attempt with the ball back at the 32, 31-yard line. So a 41-yard attempt. The kick is up, and the kick is no good. Wide right for DeMuth. And what a turn of events, as it looked like Marietta was going to try to score on 3rd down and goal from the 3. At the very least, have a short field goal attempt. Palich knocks the ball free. Marietta recovers after losing 5. Then a penalty, they lose 15 more. Have to try a 42-yard field goal, and it's wide.
Had the leg for it. Great kick there by Marietta, just a little bit to the right, but how the turntables can just flip upside down, Mark. Thought it would have been guaranteed points for Marietta there. Westminster now has it at the 25-yard line with 5:06 remaining, looking to make something happen here.
Just the touchback with the ball into the end zone on the kick, so Westminster will take it at the 25 and need something from the offense. They trail by 4. There's 5:06 to go. Still trying to find that offensive identity. Motion to the near side to give us wide receivers on each side. McGowan back to pass with whistles. Procedure call against the Titans. Not what you want.
Start on the offense, number 17. That's a 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Eduardo Torres called for the false start from the wide receiver spot.
Yeah, how this game's been going, you can't keep shooting yourselves in the foot if you're Westminster. Got to get a drive going sooner rather than later. 5:05 remaining. This is possibly the last offensive drive of the game, and they got to make something happen now.
So now 1st and 15, ball back to the 20-yard line. 2 receivers to the near side. The back is Clayton Cannon Jr. Snap to McGowan, and the ball knocked down on the quick throw leaping to knock it down was Brady McManaway on the play.
Yeah, one of those preseason All-American linebackers we talked about with Harley Hopkins making a big play. Had Eduardo Torres on the speed out here. You see McGowan take, look, one read, hands right in the face of QB1. Had Torres for a gain to maybe get back to the original line of scrimmage, but now 2nd and 15.
McManaway, preseason All-American, made a big play there. 2nd down and 15. 5:02 to go here, 4th quarter. Ball at the 20-yard line, 3 receivers left. McGowan takes a low snap, looks, and now looks to run, directing traffic, fires it down the field. It's incomplete, out of bounds, and intended for Torres. Saw Torres standing at about the 30. Time McGowan saying, just go, take off. And the sophomore receiver ran a bit down the field, but could not make the catch inbounds. Now 3rd down and 15.
Just like that, Westminster now in an unfavorable position here on 3rd and 15 when the offense hasn't had much going on. It's do or die right now for the Titans.
4:56 on the clock on 3rd and 15 from the 20. Bright Cannon is the guy they've looked for on the deep throws. Tate Beachy's had a couple catches today as well. Coble, the tight end, will motion left and then right. On 3rd down, McGowan back to pass, swings it out near side. Cannon Jr. makes the catch. He'll run it across the 25 to about the 26 on the little swing play. And they'll pick up yardage out to about the 26-yard line, give us 4th down and 9 and another punt situation. Craig Sanson Jr. will punt. He's been as busy as anyone in their white jerseys.
Swing pass on 3rd and 15. Cannon gets to about the original line of scrimmage, maybe 1 more yard past that. Now Westminster, another punt situation.
Good now set to return. Spiraling punt. Takes a good Titan bounce. Good now lets it go. The ball continues to roll. It's inside the 30 and touchdown at about the 27-yard line. So flipping the field in a good fashion, Craig Sanson Jr. has had a big night as a punter, but the Titan defense now has to come up big yet again.
Yeah, not something you want to hear considering a game. You know, your punter had a great night. Craig Sanson, though, not to disrespect him in any way, but he has had a great leg. Craig the leg so far today, showing out from that special teams punter position.
Is there a takeaway in a white jersey with 4:09 to go? Look for another heavy dose of Vontae Hodges. He's the back to the right and now moving to the left of the quarterback Johnson. They'll go to Hodges up the middle. They're going to meet him at the line of scrimmage. And the pile eventually will fall. Well, it looks like a no gain.
A few Titan linebackers in there. Aiden Fletcher, Dylan Sleva, Sonny Casanzale, to name a few. Stopping Hodges at the line of scrimmage. Got to have more of that if you're Westminster. Marietta looking to get a few first downs and walk out of New Wilmington 1-0.
2nd down and 10 from the 27-yard line. 2 receivers to the far side, 2 to the near side as well. Empty set with Johnson in the shotgun on 2nd down and 10. We'll send Hodges in motion. Inside handoff to Hodges on the run, and he'll run it across the 30, and he'll bang out across the 35 and near the 38, and it's good for a 1st down.
Great play design there from Marietta, working Hodges in any way you can. It's impressive this show. It seems like he's the same burst and speed as the first run of the game as he does, 30, 35 touches later.
Yeah, ran from that slot, came back in front of the quarterback. I've not seen that play yet, and that play good for a 1st down, and now Marietta in no hurry. The clock at 2:43 to go. Titans with 2 timeouts left on the board. 2:36 plus a 2-minute stoppage still ahead. And it whistles on this one. And it looks like we're going to have a procedure call of some kind against Marietta.
False start on the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
So move them back 5 with the clock at 2:30.
Crowd trying to get into it for Westminster. Hype up the team in New Wilmington, Pennsylvania.
1st and 15. Here's the hand to Hodges. Runs into resistance in the middle of the field. He's down for a short gain. Westminster going to take a timeout with the run to the 36-yard line. Donner and Palich coming off the bottom of the pile.
Westminster, their second timeout of the half. Please put 2:04 on the game clock.
Takes it with a few seconds left before that 2-minute timeout. Kind of acting as another timeout considering the time on the clock.
The big was the short gain on the play, and then the timeout.
Yeah, if you want more of Westminster and WCN, connecting with us is easier than ever. Keep the conversation rolling with us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and Snapchat. Download our free mobile app at WCN247.com or find us online at TitanRadioLive.com. We're basically everywhere.
Yeah, the mobile app is pretty amazing. The opportunities, if we're on the app, not only can you be listening to the radio broadcast, which will pop on right when you're there, you click to the left side on the arrow or the little lines at the top, open up a menu, hit WCN. You can listen and watch games as well from the TV side. So a lot you can do. Very versatile app, plus the shows, the podcasts, the sports updates each day. So if you don't catch the sports update live, you can catch it there. 2nd down and 12 from the 36-yard line. 2:04 on the clock. Johnson again in the empty set. Motion man, though, is Hodges, and he'll fake Will Johnson. And Westminster finds this one, and Palich is going to pull him down for a loss. Great play in reading the fake that time for Westminster's Mason Palich, the senior.
Yeah, big change in the second half. Palich in place of A.J. Bird. A.J. Bird maybe a little more athletic and fast-moving, but Palich has that physicality, getting in the backfield and tackling the quarterback for a loss and getting hype after the play. Look at that.
Another great look from our replay crew. New director Jacob Walzer running the show up top. And we're going to take a quick timeout. We're at the 2-minute timeout with 1:57 to go on the clock. Back with more in a moment. Marietta 12, Westminster 8 on the home of the Titans, WCN. Big play here, 1:57 to go in the game. Westminster has just one timeout to go. They need a big stop here on 3rd down and 14 from the 31, the 34, I should say, for maybe one last chance. Hodges motions to the backfield, to receivers right. Here's the snap and the handoff to Hodges up the middle. He's going to be stuffed at the 35. Westminster will use their last timeout. Big 32, Sonny Casanzale makes the play.
Timeout, Westminster. Their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
Just keep it here. Mention some of the crew. Jacob Walzer, his debut in directing football. He's doing a great job. Zoe Reed and Blaine Smith on replay. Ethan Schoen does a lot on graphics on game day. Does a lot more getting ready for a game day. Appreciate him. Abby Richards, Damian Davallo working audio. Peyton Mell, Seth Carroll, Emily Tallis, Braylon Juzak, Tom Rook, Derek McClafferty, all working camera. Got Adam Teixeira, I believe, up there as well. So congratulations for a lot of rookies doing it for the first time, making Jacob and I look good from this end.
Bet you couldn't even tell. Like seasoned vets working camera.
very proud of the work that the students do. And you've mentioned like all the things you could see at Westminster. Well, you can jump in. There's a lot of freshmen, transfers, whatever, doing their first broadcast of the first game and rocking it. All right, they're going to punt. Bright Cannon, what do you got? Bright stands at the 16-yard line. Bailey set to punt. And the clock runs. Pressure comes and nearly blocked, but Bailey gets it away. Cannon will call a fair catch and take it at the 29. What came with the block, and Palich was close and Cannon was close, but Bailey got the kick away.
Sooner rather than later, those two are some combination of Titan defenders. They're very good and aggressive on those punt blocks. It's kind of their MO special teams wise. They really go for it, and so close tonight. The very first punt of the night, Clayton Cannon threw his hands up in the air. He knew he was so close to that goal that he and I talked about. But his first goal that he talked about was a Westminster win.
Veteran Ty McGowan, the senior, with 1:47 and hoping to author a game-winning drive. Titans down 12-8. 4 receivers in the set. 1st and 10 from the 29. McGowan back to pass. Pressure coming, and he'll run. And he's still running across the 35 to the 40. He's still running to the 50. He's to the 45. Still not going down. Finally pulled down at the 44-yard line. The ball may have come out. Marietta says they have it. We'll wait for an official call. And I have not seen any signal to say whose ball it is. It does not look like the officials were saying that Ty McGowan was down. Marietta comes out of the pile with the ball, and it's Marietta football.
See, not the best angle from up here, but it looked like McGowan might have tried to hand it off or pitch it to one of his teammates on this far sideline.
You can see the replay. Great run by McGowan. In the last moment, I think he was just switching hands and got hit, and the ball came out at the end of about a 35-yard run. It looked like maybe Xander Straub was the one to knock it out. And that might be the last hope for the Titans, which had an amazing first play end in the turnover. And now just to kneel on the ball, Westminster has no timeouts left. They'll snap it, and Johnson will take a knee. And the clock runs at 1:25. Westminster cannot stop the clock.
Yeah, a few victory formations, and Marietta's going to head out of here with a victory over the Titans. Get the revenge from the Open Doors Bowl and that scrimmage for the 2024 season. Titans definitely going to leave Harold Burry Stadium with a sour taste in their mouth after tonight.
A winnable game at times. The defense bending but not breaking for a good part of this game. The offense just unable to get on track. And the running game of Marietta was fantastic. Taking a knee again is Johnson. Clock down to 44 seconds on a running clock. The officials set the clock, the play clock. And they'll just need to kneel one more time with the play clock about a second in front of the game clock. And there's the last kneel down, and that's going to do it as the Marietta sideline celebrates. First-year coach Tom Kaufman will get his first win as the teams make their way to the handshake line in the center of the field. Monte Hodges, 171 yards and a touchdown, was huge as the clock officially hits 0. And the final score officially Marietta 12, Westminster 8. Hodges had that touchdown in the second quarter of a yard run. McGowan to Beachy was Westminster's only score in the third quarter. A 2-point conversion on a crazy play where the holder, Craig Sanson, able to complete a pass to Wadsworth to give the Titans an 8-6 lead that lasted for about 4 minutes. And another 73-yard drive in 13 plays for Marietta. And Antoine Johnson run made it 12-8 as they could not get the last conversion. Boy, looked like Westminster had an opportunity.
Yeah.
Late Ty McGowan ran for about 26 yards, and then the ball pops out on the fumble. So instead of the Titans being able to maybe still be trying to complete a drive to get a late score, turn it over, and it's a win for Marietta. We'll take a break. Post-game comes your way next. We've got player of the game, so stay tuned for that. And we will wrap it up here from Westminster. Final score, Marietta 12, Westminster 8 on your home of the Titans, WCN. Back here, Westminster College, game 1 of the season. A tough one for the Titans at home. They'll fall to Marietta by a score of 12-8. A battle down to the finish. Westminster with a late defensive stand, and they didn't have a lot of situations where they were able to stop Marietta on a short drive. They did that the last time. Had a 26-yard run for Ty McGowan, which I believe you told me in the break there looked like to be his career long. And it just ended in a fumble. And Ty just fighting for a little bit more and lost the football at the end of a great run. And with that, Marietta just able to kneel it out. They win it by a score of 12-8. First win in the career of Coach Kaufman. His first year in his head coaching career at Marietta, but not his career, but at Marietta. And congratulations to him and the Pioneers as they go to 1-0.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to talk about Vontae Hodges first, honestly. 37 carries for a net of 171 and a touchdown, longest at 20. So you see that 171 yards, only a 20-yarder is his longest. He's really just gritting and grinding the whole game, 4, 5, 6 yards. On the Westminster side, couldn't really get it going on the ground. Ty McGowan, the leading rusher for Westminster. Clayton Cannon behind him with 23 yards on 12 carries. Talk about the change of pace back. Benny Lewis for Marietta, giving Vontae Hodges those breaks, 54 yards for him. Overall, the rushing attack for Marietta, 242 yards to Westminster's 77.
A year ago, in the bowl game, Dylan Sleva had a career-high 16 tackles against Marietta. Today, 25 tackles for the senior Dylan Sleva.
Absolutely, and he's going to be our WCN player of the game. 25 tackles for the senior linebacker Sleva. Incredible number, 9 on his own, 16 assisted, the official numbers, but he was all over the place today, being Vontae Hodges' best friend, so to say, you know, tackle-wise. He was all over that. You see 9 solo tackles, 16 assisted, 25 total for the senior captain for this Westminster team, and did just about everything they could do to get this win tonight, but wasn't meant to be.
So thank you to all the crew here, and of course you in the booth as well. It was a good night, a good first broadcast as we get the last pictures of Coach Kaufman talking to his team. A lot of smiles. I mean, look at the eyeballs on Coach there. You could tell, even in a short time, he has brought the eyeballs to him, and the players respect it. You can see it just in that huddle right there. Broadcast coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a number of broadcasts, obviously. Next weekend, next Saturday, September 13th, Westminster, Franklin, and Marshall. I won't be there for the game, but you.
I'm going to go down. Ben Kelly and I will have that on the radio side, and we'll have some video on YSN as well on the streaming side, so join us for that.
Yeah, down there in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Then Westminster and Case Western to do battle on the radio again there. Westminster and Hiram Volleyball coming up September 24th at 7 p.m. We'll be broadcasting that. And Wilmington versus Farrell, highly touted high school game. Tom Rook will be there for that one on the 26th of September.
That's going to wrap it up here. The broadcast brought to you by the Broadcasting and Sports Communications program here at Westminster College, providing real-world experience in today's media for tomorrow's producers. Thank you again to the entire crew. You can see their names on the screen. We mentioned them a little bit ago, but great job. Jacob Walzer, going to be a good guy as a director. Everybody else jumping in. Cameras, replay, all of it. Well done. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to my partners, Jacob Rhodes and Ethan Kurtz. Most of all, I'd like to thank you for joining us. I'm Mark Slazak. Final score, Marietta 12, Westminster 8. You have been watching Titan football on your home of the Titans, WCN. Good night.